Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this service is therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
and finding our inner Brock and Michelle.
Or Jay-Z and Beyonce. Or this episode, this is one of my favorite people, Dwayne Martin and Tisha Campbell. Y'all know who these folks are?
Yeah.
They classic. So they have 20 years of marriage. And the actress, Tisha Campbell, an actor turned real estate developer. Did y'all know Dwayne Martin owned real estate?
No.
I didn't know. I really didn't know what he did, because I know he kind of was a pseudo comedian actor, and I know he used to do not booty call. Remember that Bill Bellamy era?
Yeah.
How to Be a Player. I know he was with they crew, but I thought he just kind of was living off that money. But he owned all types of property. But now it makes sense because, Tisha, she went a little off the little ticky lately.
Well, she ain't been right since Martin.
You don't think she been right since Martin?
No,
she had my wife and kids.
she ain't been right since Martin.
Anywho, I think she always been like that, but she just felt the freedom now that her man got the coins to do what he want to do. It's like Everybody Hates Chris. Mm-hmm. And, Tashina Arnold be like, my man got 3 jobs. I'm about to leave. I feel like that's what she did in real life, though. But anywho, the couple, they have 2 children together. And as I say, Gina, or a.k.a. T, she a little crazy, but she's still one of my favorites. So everything from School Days to Martin to now, that's why I was saying she a little ticky now. Have you seen her singing?
No.
If you just go on Instagram or YouTube and just type her name in, she like sing. And the thing is, sis can sing. Like she give me church sing. You know how when you growing up and you can just sing in church, but I don't know if I would give her a recording contract. Mm. That's how she is. But she just hollering. She like giving you Jennifer Hudson realness.
I don't know what you're talking about. In the 90s, Tisha Campbell was hot.
Who is you?
You gonna find out in a minute. No, but she was, but then she went a little off. But anyway, I love their love. I love that they've been together for 20 years. I love that they are authentically themselves. Gina, she gonna do what she gonna do regardless of what y'all say, how she said, and what she moving forward. So I just wanted to highlight their love. So who is you?
I'm Nia.
And I'm Nyambi.
And I'm Nia.
Yes. Remember who we've been talking about, y'all. Y'all know it's going to be a lit episode, so get ready.
All right. And this is episode 42.
42.
Happy Monday, y'all.
Happy
and
Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
What you was about to say?
I don't know. Happy Day of Labor.
Oh.
Shit.
Okay.
So, I'm going to need y'all to go ahead and play this shit at the barbecues.
Oh, it is barbecue. It's the official end of summer.
I need my mom, pop to know who Black Love Matters is.
Yeah, we won't be.
And while y'all at it, pull out their iPhones and leave a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher, and follow us on all forms of social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Absolutely.
What you got, baby girl?
It's time for my check-in.
Yeah.
All right. So it was good. So as you know, we went to D.C. Mm-hmm. It was a beautiful time, right? So let's start with, we got in on Thursday, right? Mm-hmm. And we got tickets, believe it or not, to the African American Museum. But I was in rare Nyambi form, y'all. So y'all know before I go on trips, I really can't sleep. I turn into a child. So I woke up about 5 in the morning. The flight didn't leave at 1:30 p.m. I got up. I started washing dishes. Not washing dishes, but putting the dishes back up. I vacuumed. I put some essential oils. I started listening to some TV. And I was like, well, what we doing in D.C.? Because I was really taking this approach to just be laid back and go with the flow. But I was like, damn, we got to figure out what's going on. And so I was like, let me check on this African American Museum site. So this is me typing it in. And they have it where if you get up, I think it goes on till like 6:30 in the morning. If you go and put it online or request it online, they can give you tickets. Well, all the showings were sold out to 4 p.m. But I got that 4 p.m. showing. Mm-hmm. And I was too excited about it. And when we went there, first I was a little nervous because our flight didn't get into 3. So from between 3 o'clock to 4, we had to go get in on time, make it to the hotel, and then go back to the African American Museum. And we was about 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
Child, I was worried they were going to turn me away, and I was just going to holler right at the front door, like, let me in. Like a little kid, let me in. But we got in, and it was amazing. I know we're going to talk more about the museum on your check-in, right? Mm-hmm. So that was exciting. Then after that, we went and had dinner at, was that Bus Boys and Poets?
Yeah.
Oh, thank it. Bus Boys and Poets was so lit, and that's where we met. Our friend Nia was there, and his friend T, and we just had a good time and had good food. And of course, Niram had to show out and go ahead and what you ordered? Some tofu? Yeah. Some coconut shrimp tofu? It ain't shrimp, I guess. Coconut tofu?
Yeah, coconut tofu bites.
And what else did you have?
A vegan burger.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did it.
And DC tap water.
Oh, shout out to the folks who from DC and told us to get that DC tap water. When I tell you it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious.
It was good as fuck.
I feel like whenever I come to DC, I just make sure I eat a lot of food. We also went to this other restaurant called Half Smoke that was in by Howard. First of all, what the hell done happened to Howard University area?
Gentrification.
It's white folks over there, y'all.
I remember when Howard just had one tree in the whole. I think it was a emancipation tree or something like that. And it was just like,
we went, and I said, "This is a nice ass neighbor. It's better than like Brooklyn. It got them all shut down. There was white people going up and down the street. I was like, this is Howard.
Shit, I felt safe.
What? Didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Was the nation there?
No, I didn't see nobody from the nation.
Exactly, because that's how the only way you know you're truly safe.
When the nation
When
is
the
right,
nation is there.
Right.
And I don't even eat them pies. I give them $1 though. How about, here you go, brother. Continue to patrol.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum.
Come on, like about salam. And then so we ate at this place called Half Smoke. Was this gentrified place where you get half smokes, but it was lit. They had like a photo booth, couches, drinks. But I said, what is this? And we got it off Groupon. So you know what's making that shift. So that was good. And the other thing I wanted to highlight from the DC trip is we went to something called Union Market. So we stayed in the Nomad area. So for the folks who live in DC, the Nomad was the hood.
Yeah.
So we stayed there about 3 years ago. It was like, what the hell is this? I said, we done went to Detroit, to Massachusetts, back to Detroit via DC. Because we got it because it was like, when I tell you it's steps away from the metro, that we was like, you can't beat this because we ripping and running on the metro, right? But it was dangerous. We came back distance. So, you got to time the metro. That's when we timing the metro. Like, it's coming in 3 minutes. Let's go. But anywho, this time we went again, just like Howard. Yeah. I said, this area is fine.
Right.
What is this? White people walking, still a couple crackheads, but still, it was white people who was just kind of ignoring the crackheads. And you can see the crackheads was getting frustrated. They just leave, honey. But usually the crackheads stay all night.
Right.
They leave. They do it like a 9 to 5, and they just leave and go somewhere else. But the biggest highlight from that was something we went to Union Market. And see, this is gentrification at its best. So it was 2 pieces of market, right? So it's the new market that's got bright colors like yellow and white, and everything's real Art Deco and just beautiful, or modern, I should say, not Art Deco. And that's where we went, and we had like this shrimp po' boy. We had bread. Oh my God, the food was so good. But then you go what? Up the block, Nero.
Up the block. On the way there.
On the way there, the sign also said Union Market, but the U was missing, and the I was leaning, and only a couple of the lights lit up. And I was like, which one is Union Market? Because that's the one Nero said. He said, I think we here. I said, oh, hell no. That ain't what the Yelp. That ain't what Yelp told me. Yelp said continue a half a mile up to the right. So I'm thinking this is the first Union, this is the real one. So this is one the brown folks created. Then the white folks like, we create some more shit.
Right.
And they moved it down the street. But we went to that Union Market because that damn flying, we broke our damn suitcase. And so, me, my nigga sense kicked in. And I seen it on the screen where they said we give everything from purses to suitcases. I said, let's go see how much these suitcases is. How much we bought a suitcase for?
$18.
We bought this not a normal suitcase, y'all. Like, we're not just talking about a roll. Like, it's one of them big old duffels on roller for $18. And I was like, oh, it's going to break apart. It ain't even breaking apart. And I bought a pashmini for $3. I said, these are my people. And they had like a meat market. They was chopping up goat and meat and ass and pig just at the front door. I said, this cannot be ahead of the sanitation department. But people was buying all that shit, fruit. I said, oh, these is my people. This is where I need to be. So overall, I know we're going to go in more detail. I know when Niram check in and when Nia starts talking, but them is just some of my highlights. I love DC. DC has a space in my heart. I think whenever it's a lot of brown people around, I really like it. But I got to be careful in DC because there's a lot of gentrification going on. Like it's a lot of white folks, a lot of young white folks around now that I'm like, damn, where are people at? Where we all going? Niram?
Well, first, I want to give a big ass shout out and big up to Spread Love. He is the gentleman who created our beat for the intro and outro.
Yeah.
That's how you know this nigga. He's a real nigga.
Okay.
He's so real that he heard the podcast right. And we went out to the club with him. He said, hey, stop by the car before y'all leave.
Yeah.
Stop by the car. What he got for us? Some motherfucking black soap.
Because I'm still mad when them niggas ask, is it fruitcake? No, nigga. And then my mama talking about, yeah, you should tell them it was fruitcake. I said, you try to have me on the TSA list. Look, yeah, it's fruitcake. She said, you should have just said yes to keep the hell walking. I was cracking up.
So that brother got us some black soap. So shout out to him and shout out to everybody who has sent their condolences for black soap and trying to figure out how they can get in touch with us to send us some black soap.
Because the thing is, good black soap is hard to come from. Because, it don't want a little mainstream. So there's a lot of black soaps that's processed as basically Irish Springs. I don't look for that. I want it where it's chunky.
Yes.
I don't want the smooth top with oatmeal and shit in it.
No, I don't want that.
The chunk of black soap.
Right.
Come on.
Something you got to cut off.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shanice because she also was like our little liaison.
Oh yeah, while we're in DC. Yes.
Yeah, because she was hitting us up all types of things and
Shanice was amazing.
And Instagram's like, well, if y'all looking for some black soap, y'all can go here. And I was like, Shanice, I swear we can't take another L when it comes to black soap.
Because if they don't let me on that plane,
it's a problem.
It's gonna be a problem.
So shout out to her. Shout out to everyone else who also sent like recommendations when we went to DC.
Yes,
it was good. So this fucking suitcase broke, y'all.
Oh my goodness! And you didn't even notice it.
No, I didn't. I ain't noticed it until we got like to the hotel.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, we didn't roll all on Subway and everything else. Like I wonder if
could you imagine if my panties went everywhere?
Oh my!
You had to buy me a whole new wardrobe. On the panties. I'm like, leave them there. I'm like, leave them there. Leave them there. They contaminated. Leave them there. This for the homeless people.
So we go up in this Union Market, and we go in there once, and I'm like looking at these suitcases, and I'm like, I'll be like, this might. She's like, no, we'll just go to Macy's or Marshall. I'm like, no, I'm on a budget. I got a budget in DC.
AKA he greedy. He want to spend it on food.
Yeah, I ain't about to spend all my damn money on a fucking suitcase. So I'm up in there bartering with this lady. We done left.
Oh my God, they was getting on my nerves.
I done left. I done figured out what suitcase I want, and then I came back.
Him and the little Asian woman.
Yeah,
and she was giving it to him too.
I know she was.
Then she like, but she see pretty. She see pretty. She want this past me.
Pass me tea.
She was so cute though. She was.
I'm like, no.
She was
$25. No, 22.
$3? Y'all arguing over $3?
No. And then she's hold on. I got it down.
to $3.
I got it down to 18. And then, I get to the register. Give me this damn pass mini. Give this pass mini in there. I said 18. Oh my God. 18 for the suitcase. 2 for the pass mini. Oh, cash. Exact change. You ain't even got to count it. What's up? What you got?
Jesus. That whole time. You and that Asian woman.
Thank you for giving me exact change.
Yeah, not the end. Bye-bye, sweetie. That's what she said. Y'all coming back? She said they're going to have a sale on Monday.
Right.
I'm just not buying suitcases. What do you mean she going to have? She said she's going to have a sale on Monday. But I kind of missed that a little bit from Detroit. Like, I missed, I love black-owned business, but I just love brown-owned businesses. So even just seeing, like, the little Asian woman, and she was an older woman, like her, and when I mean this Asian, this is brown Asian. So she had to be, like, Filipino or something. Like, it was just something about it. I was like, quit playing with grandma. Give her money. Like, it's just something different about that. And I'd rather give her the coin, because I know she's going to do something with that coin, compared to,
No, everything is negotiable.
Something that I know you negotiated, but I rather still gave her the coin. Like, it felt a lot better. Like, I felt good about it. Does that make sense? Because where we at, it ain't that don't exist.
No,
it don't exist. Even if you go to Home Goods, how much is the suitcase? $153.
Yeah,
what?
no.
But my thing is, the Asian woman, that's going in her pocket, right? So I can understand she wanted to argue with you. I don't understand why I'm at a box store and this ain't even your product. Why you is arguing with me over 10% off?
Because I get it. At my box store, I be like, "What is the price?" I do it so much when people throw them off. I'm like, "How much was it?" I'm like, "They're like, it's 10." I said, "I already changed the price."
Right.
There's a trophy sign. I said, "Not needed."
I'm like, Target ain't get.
Come on, nobody getting
nobody.
it.
Walmart
Target,
ain't
nobody.
getting it.
Yeah.
Best Buy ain't getting it. I'm like, why are you so concerned about this little bit of change?
That ain't yours.
That ain't yours.
And they only paying you $10, $12.
Right.
At my job, I'd be like, you can have it, you can have it, you can have it, you can have it.
I told you, when I'm the manager up front, come on through. I'm approving. And my argument is always, I'm here to make the guests happy.
Yeah.
So, I didn't got it down.
Both of y'all was just having fun.
You can tell bartering is a sport.
Yeah, you can tell.
Mm-hmm. It is a sport, Yeah. She'd be like 25. I said, no, I ain't paying no more than $13
and then she
for
tried
this
to
shit.
get it with the baby. Come on, baby.
Come on, baby.
Sweetie.
I ain't paying no more than $13 for it. 13, take it or leave it.
Baby, I can't give it to you for 13, baby.
How about 22? No, I'm not paying no more than $13 for it.
Come on, baby.
18?
Then they both looking at each
Final
other.
price. Cash. Give me this cat pass mini too.
Oh man.
So doing that.
They were nice though.
Yeah, they were nice.
They were nice people.
And the thing about vacationing with Nyambi is that I'm always the navigator.
Yeah.
So navigating Nyambi takes so much time that I really ain't got time to be planning that now. She'd be like, what else you want to do? I don't care. Let me know where I need to be so I can figure out what line we need to get on and what time we need to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
So, doing that. So we went to the nigga museum.
It's the African American. Stop calling it the Negro.
He's
Negro
just
museum.
so disrespectful.
It's not the nigga museum. The African American.
I know, right?
Okay, it's the Negro museum. So day one, we drop off the suitcases, right?
I got those tickets. Be clear, ain't nothing but God.
So I woke up in the morning. I checked my email, checked my Instagram, and I like tickets. Like, damn, what the hell Naomi doing this shit at 5 a.m.? What the hell is she doing? And then I look at my calendar. The calendar full, booked with all types of things. They got 30-minute reminders and shit that pop up on my phone.
I did do that. I didn't plan a lot because before I usually book tickets, and even Nia said, "I already got your ticket, Nia."
Yeah, thank you.
And this is where we're gonna be. But I was like, these are just suggestions.
Right.
We don't got to be there. We can. We don't have to go. So I was good this
So
time.
get there, get to the airport, catch the subway, or the metro to the
Sweating.
hotel.
We've been sweating.
We hoofing it. That's how I know we on vacation, because when we on vacation, we always running. We running.
And sweating.
Drop off the suitcase, change my shirt because I'm sweating as hell. Get in the lift. I didn't know Lyft updated their app.
Yes.
Now they got a Lyft pool, like a Lyft line. I don't know what the hell that shit is. So I get in there, and like I can see the clock that's ticking down. It's ticking down. Like, Lord, we got 10 minutes. We got to be there in 10 minutes, 5 minutes. And then look at the app because I'm like, all right, we should be there on time. But the next thing you know, it's like picking up Brian. Like, who the fuck is Brian? Who the hell is Brian?
Y'all got to understand how he whispered to me.
So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, do I just
let it ride?
Like, do I let it ride?
Because I was going to say something. He got in that car and nobody else said something. I'm like, I don't know the driver. Jeff. I'm like, who is this? I was like, is that your friend or what are we doing?
There's nothing worse than getting into an Uber pool and you not knowing you in an Uber pool.
And it was busy.
Right.
So we talking about DC rush hour.
So I'm like, damn, Brian again there. So I'm like, Nayabi, baby.
Yeah, that's what are you talking sweet for?
I think I'm in the Uber pool. I think, what is it called? Lift line. I think I'm in the lift line.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is that?
But my question is, does it drop the price?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it does drop the price.
So he was being stingy.
Okay.
No, I didn't know because every time I use Lyft at a certain point, like Lyft didn't have like a pool type of thing.
Yeah.
So now that's like the first option. Usually when you pick a Lyft, you can pick like a regular Lyft car or like a truck or something like that. But it was like Lyft line. I was like, well, I thought it was the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, we picking up somebody. I'm like, oh shit. We might be late, baby.
And then we picking up Brian, not at a normal place, at one of the biggest intersections in DC. And then I knew of something because Brian done called the driver, like, I'm on the corner of you and this. Okay, I'm gonna come out. I got a purple dress, and I'm gonna come in the middle street. I'm gonna hop around. I was like, oh shit.
Sit in the front.
Yeah, go in the front. And they all waving in front of the car. I said, what? I said, I think it's illegal to pick up somebody in the middle of a street.
So, needless to say, we get to the museum.
Yeah.
15 minutes late. So I'm looking. I'm like, Lord, they said be here at 4:15. Like, be here at 4 o'clock. And they said late people will be turned around. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, you just got to be confident. Like,
and I told her, I gave it to him because if somebody just tell me no, I'm walking away.
talking about, well, you go first then. you explain to them why we late.
You talking about
so, me, I walk in there confident. I just hand him the ticket like, all right. And I just walk past him. I just hand him a ticket and I walk. He's like, who with you? I said, my girl. Come on, Naomi.
And I'm behind because I'm waiting to see if security comes. I was like, I ain't kicking me out. We in the nation's capital. People don't play.
So we get there. It's 4:15. Yeah. Nobody told me close at 5:30. So we're trying to go through all the floors.
I'm hitting it. Yes. I'm
so we're like, do we go to the top and start
work our way
top
down?
Or bottom?
And they starting to leave that message over the
yeah.
30 minutes.
Hour,
30 minutes.
So we go up to the top. We look around, and we started looking at the map. Like, the good shit.
We got to go to slavery. Go down to slavery.
We got to go down to slavery.
Run, slavery.
So we got to go all the way back downstairs. And next thing you know, it's like another 3 floors. You go back down.
It's 3 floors, and then it's 3 sub floors within it.
Yeah.
So this museum is like 3,
9.
Yes. I was like, who's supposed to do this type of music? It's a beautiful museum. I said, how you supposed This is disrespectful.
It is.
But we went to that bottom.
We went to slavery.
First of all, we got to say this museum is beautiful. It's one of the best museums I've been to, and I'm very funny and particular and fickle about museums.
Yes.
And I was going to be highly critical of my own people. Because sometimes, we get caught up in errors too much. I'm like, well, what the hell happened in the other years? We be on slavery for the whole museum.
Yeah.
I said, this is the museum of slavery, not black people. I was ready for that, but it wasn't. It was done beautifully. So the way it worked, where you're supposed to start at, no one told us. They just seen us wandering. They said, good luck, y'all. We packing our shit up. But y'all, when you go to the museum, start at the very bottom.
Yes.
So go to the third concourse. So don't start at the first floor. Go all the way to the bottom and then work your way up. That's the proper way to go, the logic way to go through the museum.
Nobody told us.
No.
It didn't even say it on the map.
It didn't.
We was looking at the paper at the lobby. It's like, where do we go? So here's your map, baby.
Goodbye. And it's old black women working everywhere.
Yeah.
Old black women
at the Kennedy Center.
You got to that story, and they ain't want to play. They ain't want to play with us.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
And then we can't be disrespectful because that's how we operate.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just take it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
That ain't helped shit.
They ain't helped me.
I wish it was a white person. I'm like, where the fuck do I go?
So the first time we go through it, and we just kind of rushing through because the people are like, we get down there and we go to the bottom floor, and I'm like, it started at 1400. Like, and we start working our way
this is
up.
where we need to be.
Things of that sort.
But it was beautiful. Talk
was.
about that. Like, so they had an elevator that went down, and so you get in this big elevator, and it says present, and it's working its way down, and it goes through all these years, and it stops at 1400.
Yeah.
And it says, now you're going to begin your journey of African Americans in kind of the new world, in air quotes, what the fuck that means. Some of that terminology I wasn't really with, but
like forced migration.
I'll let the historians, and I'm not a historian.
That's one of the things that did fuck me up. It was like, forced migration. I said, forced migration? You mean human trafficking? Stealing?
Slavery?
Yeah, I didn't like
just call it slavery.
Right.
When did slavery become that word?
Stealing the people?
Even if you did slavery with, what they say, forced migration and parent. Like, can we at least put the name, call a thing the thing?
Right.
Yeah.
Like forced migration?
That didn't
Wait
sit
a
with
minute.
me. And
I thought it was kidnapping, raping, and pillaging.
Yeah.
And then slavery. And, and then raping some more.
Come on.
And pillaging.
And doing it again.
And more pillaging.
And doing it again.
So we rushing through the bottom parts because they like, y'all need to get through. Y'all need to get through. If y'all want to see the Emmett Till Memorial, y'all gotta hurry the fuck up because I'm pushing y'all.
They basically was saying that.
we closing this motherfucker down. And at 5:30, everybody gonna be out of here.
Money Talks. What movie was that when you hear that old lady was in the New York train? She was like, "Pay your fare, pay your fare." I just hear that.
Come on, y'all.
Yes.
So we go through and we rushing through, and I get to the Emmett Till Memorial.
Oh, that was rough.
And they got the original casket. They got the picture of him in there. And they got pictures of his mama crying.
But you could smell it. You could smell like the embalm. I don't know what it was, but you could smell.
So where's
something?
Emmett Till at now? Of his casket in the museum.
Oh, remember they brung him up. What was it called when you unbury someone?
Exhume.
They did that because his casket was just kind of a wood, and they gave him a new one, a more up to date one, and sealed him in there.
Because I was like, did they King Tut him?
Come on.
Mummify him, put him in.
Come on.
I don't know. But so they exhumed him and got the original casket.
Yeah,
and,
2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that room was so touching.
Yeah. Well, I think, and I know you're going to go on the second day. I think the biggest thing from the cultural center, the museum, was how intentional the design and architect was.
Yeah.
Like, it was so sickening. Like, I don't know if y'all seen pictures of it, but it's like a lot of holes and T's and cuts. I'm like, what the hell was they? Like, it's like they were just doing designs.
Yeah.
But each of those holes and cuts have something to do with what's going on in that actual exhibit, and it sees out to the other things. So you can see the Washington Monument, you can see the Lincoln Memorial, you can see the Washington Mall, and up above it, it's very symbolic.
Yes.
So I didn't realize that, even to the point where you go to the bottom in the 1400s, and it's dark and it's tight.
Yeah.
For the reason that on the voyage here, it was dark, tight, and they don't even have bathrooms.
Yeah.
You don't have the bathrooms to the 1960s.
Yeah.
So they be like, if you got to go to the bathroom, this is the only place you need to go. You got to go up them ramp.
Does it say whites only?
They should have had that.
That's what I was waiting on.
They had a door.
That's what I was. But that's basically how they did it through those levels.
Blacks only.
Come on. But I must say, all the white people, this is the friendliest I've seen white people. Because it was packed, right? So all the white people, get out the way, Johnny. Let them go see. Can you see? Madam, go first.
Would you like me to read that to you?
Can you see it? Want me to take a picture? Thank you. I said, look at these white people feeling bad. Well, go ahead.
So, we go through it.
Come on.
We go through it, we rush through it, and we just get through.
Yeah.
You know, Bus Boys and Ports. I done had this, because, you know, I'm over here vegan curious now. So I didn't have.
That's a better way to say it.
Coconut tofu and vegan burgers, and that shit was good. It was pretty decent.
Dabbling in the culture.
You know, so day 2, I was supposed to wake up at 6 a.m. to do the tickets. My turn.
Nope.
That didn't work out.
Nope. You gonna wake up at 8. You think they sold out?
Yes. Yes, I do. I think that's completely sold out.
So, you know, I go anyway. Yeah. So we go, I forgot what we did. We just dilly-dallied until about 1, and then we had our ass over there. And then we go over there at 1 p.m. And we think, well, they giving out tickets. The guy there, all the tickets sold out. If you looking for tickets, your ass should have been here about 12:30.
That's how it sound. They ain't cussing, but that's how it sound.
You should have been here around 12:30 if you wanted a ticket.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So all the white people leave, and this is black guy. So I go to him and say, brother, ain't no more tickets. Ain't no more tickets.
Old black man again.
What I got to do to get in? Like, you know, we done flew all the way from Detroit. We just trying to get in. You know, I'm just putting it all up. You know what I mean? I done flew all the way from California. Come on, man. This is my last day. How do I get in? He's like, you military? I said, my uncle is.
There you go.
He's like, no,
that
ain't good enough. Police, firefighter. Nope. I know some police. I know some firefighters. Nope.
My girlfriend be burning up the kitchen.
Come on. Come on. What else you need?
Right.
What do you need?
Right. You a first responder? I was a first responder for Halloween. And he just bust out
He
laughing.
said, nigga, come in. He
Come
said,
on.
nigga, come in.
So you wearing on me. Come on. Come on in. And then here goes these other little white ladies coming. Can I come too? Come on, lady. This man letting us
Close
in.
the door. Close the door.
Right. So I done finessed my ass in there.
We got in there about what? Noon 1?
No, it was like 1:15.
Yeah.
So we finessed our way up in there, and I was like, when I'm going back down to slavery so I can really
We
get
had to split up because we see museums differently.
Yes. So then, you know, since we was already at 4, I didn't know how crowded it was going to be at 1. It was so crowded there. So you really got the full effect of like how
like
slavery is supposed to be in the museum.
It was hot.
It was funky.
It was
you
dark.
had kids running around.
Kids, yes.
You had motherfuckers taking pictures, not even looking at the exhibits
God,
and stuff. Excuse me, these motherfucking badass kids.
Just doing picture books.
Oh, here just run. Yeah.
They just
telling me to move out the way so they can take a picture of it and move on somewhere else. Little nigga, you need to read this shit.
I said, when they go read it at night?
You need to read this shit. So Nyambi ass left
got
me.
phone anyhow.
And they were young.
Yeah.
They were young. The most well-behaved kids were there under a year. The ones who just went to sleep because it was dark.
It was dark, so they asses went to sleep.
But the rest of them was
And
mad
then mama
as hell.
and daddy weren't talking about
No.
slavery. Jeez.
No.
Or the kid. There's a lot of kids who ain't even know about the slavery.
The black kids. They ain't know shit.
Didn't know nothing.
They didn't treat us fairly.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yes,
Why they
why?
had those chains on? I said, these kids is 10 and they ain't never heard of slavery?
You know that history being rewritten.
No, exactly.
Revisionist.
Come on.
Yeah, it is being revision. Forced migration is one of them. Shit.
You silly.
The
You
fuck?
silly. But I don't know what else you had about the music. The only thing I will say, I had to say something about they had the little exhibit. So when you go on like floors like 4, 5, and 6, like it's about culture. So they had like, y'all know like the mothership from Parliament.
Oh,
they had
my
that
God.
motherfucker in the center of it. I said, come on. So you know that type of stuff.
Yeah,
and
motherships and Cadillacs.
it was amazing. And Greece, and it was just good. But I will say they had a little segment on like the Divine Nine. Divine Nine. Did we not put up no money?
Y'all ain't putting no
I
money.
don't think we put up no money because they had a little jacket, a little AKA jacket, a Delta elephant, a Kappa hat, and they just said the other names. I said, so we must ain't get no money. The Masonics, though, mind you, they had a whole case and shit.
Shout out to
when
all
you
my
first
Prince
came
Hall
in.
Masons.
I said, this is disrespectful. The Divine Nine, as much money as I pay for dues, we couldn't give up
Well, you
a
know
couple
the Alphas
zeros.
had just finished paying for that MLK.
They said they don't got no money. They bankrupt. They bankrupt. They ain't had the Alphas nothing. I think the only one I seen was the Kappas.
It was like, look, we don't
got no money, y'all. I was a little embarrassed.
It
I said
was.
the Divine. I thought it would be like a Divine MPHC corner.
Yes.
Like I thought they would like have something. Like you know how Oprah got a whole theater.
Yeah, Oprah got a whole thing.
But I thought we would own I don't know, a
something.
table at the cafeteria. I don't know.
Something.
The collard green station.
Did
I
they
don't-
have Tyler Perry's dress in there
yeah.
from Medea?
Yeah.
I know they did.
Yes, they do.
They did.
When I seen it, I was
Yeah.
like, what is this? I said, what is them titties? What are them titties? This?
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything. So I really thought because I would thought like the whole Divine Nine would have a bigger display, but hell, the Prince Hall Masons display was way bigger than y'all's.
Yeah. Divine Nine, yeah, we didn't come through. So when
Shame on y'all.
when they do the next exhibits, we're gonna have to put more money up.
Shame.
Add $5 to our dues. Yeah, we wrong because we paid too much money in dues for this. We should have had a whole segment. Oh, I take that back. On the third floor, they had a disrespectful step thing.
Oh yeah,
learn how to step.
Like how to step.
But okay, so that would have been perfect to have the Divine Nine, right? In there, no, it was just some girl looked like on How You Think You Can Dance.
It was like Step Africa or something like that.
But don't you think you could have had that? That could have been a perfect space for the Divine Nine.
They should have Tisha Campbell there from School Days.
Because that's classic. So all the Divine Nine folks, we got to do better. So we need to add. You don't know when they add the little extra to our dues, we need to add $5 a piece so we can get our names added as donors. Because it don't make no sense. Our names ain't no donors.
Something.
Only reason the Deltas had what they had because of Dorothy High, honey.
Oh,
they riding on the coattails.
Who that?
Ooh, you don't know Dorothy High?
No, I don't.
Man,
I'm
she had a
sorry.
Black History Month stamp this month.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Dorothy High?
She sold out. My bad.
Yeah, she did.
I'm woke, but I can't know everything.
She is imperative to the movement.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just know
well, I might be looking
sorts
to
of
it.
Pick an aspect of it.
I had to look into it. I'm
Civil
sorry,
rights,
y'all.
education, all of them.
Look,
Her and Mary was close. They was good
Bethune.
girlfriends.
Okay, I know Mary Bethune.
Yeah, they was good girlfriends.
Oh, well, I got faults. I don't know everything.
Dorothy
Their
Height
height. Jesus.
is a goat.
I
She the only thing
understand.
keep the Deltas afloat.
Okay.
According
like
to
she-
the African American Heritage
Oh.
Museum.
Come on.
You know what? I think someone who pledged didn't cross. They created that museum.
I don't think ain't no Divine Nine on the board. They ain't had nothing in there.
No, because the Divine Nine was looking very pitiful.
It was very. It wasn't even an old AKA jacket. It looked like someone I crossed. I feel like I donated my jacket. I said that's from 2007. What year is that? I'm thinking they gonna get some old school, right? From our museum at Howard.
What they call it, golden pearls or something?
Yeah, the season was. Even the pins they had the one they had on display is the one I had.
Yeah.
They ain't even get Coretta Scott King's
Do you see
crossing
what I'm
dress.
saying? Like,
you know she had a white dress.
Yeah. The stuff they had on display and stuff I got in my closet. I got a museum.
Oh my God. So,
but it was a beautiful museum. No,
Yeah,
it
we
was
did
a beautiful museum. I don't blame nothing but the Divine Nine. Y'all got to put more money up.
I think this trip, because we have one of the things for us is that DC has been like a tradition to come in every day, Labor Day, to see things. So I think this is by far top 3.
Yes.
We've been to DC maybe the past 6-7 years.
Yeah.
And I think this is probably top 3. And I think more or less because we had a role, we knew where things were at. It took us maybe one train ride to be like, oh, all right, I know where everything is at now. So dealing with that. We went to the book festival. That was cool. We went to the Kennedy Center.
Yeah, beautiful.
And seen the
What
play
was
there.
the name of the play? It was the we might have to let Nia Tillman
Yeah.
on his update.
Jesus.
Because I'm known for picking. Y'all know I have a very eclectic taste when
my
it
God.
comes to anything literature. What's that? Performance art.
Yeah.
Performance art. I have a very eclectic palette.
It was like the African American culture or something like that.
It was like
It was
their
an African creative theater.
African
We'll tell you more
creative
about that
theater.
later. Yeah.
And that was pretty interesting. So I know Nia talk about that, but it was
great. I mean,
I'll let
also
Nia
I
talk
think
about that.
I think we was there with friends and felt like it was just different.
And the last thing, Niram was always about the hustle. So I done brought some flyers, and everywhere we go,
He just dropping them. I said, stop
Black Love
littering.
Matters flyers
Stop
is
loitering.
dropped off. So we went to every restaurant we went to. I said, Naomi, give me a couple flyers. I just leave a couple at the table. I leave some in the bathroom near the sink. I slid a couple in the women's bathroom doors.
It's too much.
We went to Half Smoking out there in the Howard area.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me go. I'm about to drop some in this barbershop. If
too
I had
much.
some more, I would have paid some kids $20 to go and pass out
You
flyers.
need a
to everything
street
else.
team and just let the children do it.
So I was out there passing out. I went to the Kennedy Center. I'm leaving shit at my seat everywhere. I'm like, somebody gonna pick this up.
Yeah.
Come on.
And somebody gonna look at it. I'm like, oh, Black Love Matters.
Yeah.
They either gonna throw it away or they gonna keep it. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
ain't lost
I ain't losing nothing. But there was one spot where I wanted to leave some flyers in Miami. I didn't want to let me.
No.
And that was at the Nigga Museum.
You cannot leave it at the. You
Look.
cannot litter at the African American culture.
It's not
the
littering.
museum.
So what I was going to do, here's my tactic. I was just going to sit outside and just put some flyers like arm's length away from me. Because, people come in and sitting down and things of that sort. So I'm thinking, well, they either going to move the flyer out the way to sit down. They look at the flyer. But Naomi was holding my blessings back.
I was not, but we was not about to litter.
Because it's not littering. Because if I would have picked it up, I was going to pick it up if we leave. Nobody got it.
Okay, next time.
Black Lives
Come on.
Yeah.
Introduce Nia. Come on. Introduce Nia. Come on.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. So I would like to introduce my homeboy, my player partner.
Yes.
The tricycle to
Thank
this
you.
duo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm in the front.
Nia. We met Nia in white ass New England.
Yes.
And I think actually Naomi has a better interesting story about Nia than I do.
No, we're gonna let him do all the intro. So
Okay.
we just setting the stage. You know, we
Yeah.
this family. So this is how we really talk, y'all.
Right. So this is
if
the
you
man,
don't want
the myth.
the real.
Yeah, this is the
Pause.
man, the myth, Nia. You know, we have talked about him and mentioned and quoted him multiple times. So
Yes.
we finally got this man here behind the microphone. So Nia, what you got, man?
Yeah.
Nothing, actually. I ain't got nothing.
You know what? Niram do that once a week. I'm like, I done did my whole chat. I done poured my heart out. This is what I'm going through. I'm like, what about you, Niram? He's like, I'm good. Power.
I'm good. Thank you, Power.
Yeah, he was like, Power was good.
Yeah. Like updates?
Yeah,
Okay, so we went to the
introduce
Kennedy.
yourself, man.
Okay,
Introduce yourself
I'm
and then
Nia,
go on there.
And I'm a Capricorn.
Yes.
I'm single. That is true.
Yeah. And he a doctor, y'all.
And I'm a doctor.
And he
I
a
am a
doctor.
doctor. I
He's
am a
a
doctor.
doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I known Nyambi and Niram for what, like 5-7 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
It seems like a long time.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I met Nyambi, and this is how you can block your blessings.
Yeah.
Nyambi was working in an office, and I went to her and I was like, hey, you know, there's a couple of black students here. We get together all the time. Would you like to hang out with me? And she was like, no, thank you. I was like, what? Like, I've never seen anybody just say no, thank you to a hangout. And I was like, well, you know, I hear you new, and sometimes, you know, we hang out, we go bowling and things of that nature. And she was like, no, thank you. I hang out with my man. I was like, yo, man, like, I'm not inviting you to an orgy.
Yes.
Like, she was like, I'm hanging out with my man. So
Yes.
I was like, okay, well, here's my number anyhow in case you want to hang out. Yeah. And just being in a summer program and helping each other out, we kind of became friends after that. And then I met Niram, and the first time I met him, we was having lunch, and it was this dude who was in the summer program.
Yes.
And
T-Love.
T-Love. And Niram came, and I had seen it the whole time, but T-Love had these scratches or like those marks in his
eyebrow. Purposely.
Yeah.
Purposely, they etched up his eyebrow.
Them 3 stripes in the eyebrow.
And, and Niram was like, what is so like a tiger? Like a tiger and scratched your eyebrow. And I was like, after that, I was like, yeah, I gotta love here. So that's how we kind of all met each other and hung out ever since then. Yeah. And just been having fun with you guys since then.
Yeah.
So now, if you want an update of what I have done with the group since they've been here, we went to the vegan festival.
Niram. And we always playing nice with you because we like to eat. Our whole crew.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate y'all from going to the Vegan Fest.
Yes.
You know, I'm vegan curious. I'm trying to get this, figure out what's going on.
All right.
Well, the crazy thing was, me and Nyambi was walking, and this Indian dude come up to us, and he's like, do you do yoga? Because I can tell from your aura that y'all do yoga. And the thing is, we do yoga, right? Like, we do.
Look, this us. So he done got us now.
We're like, really? He was like, I just want to give you this to bless yourselves with. Read it and bring good energy. I was like, okay, so that's one. Yeah. And then we went to the Kennedy Center. And Nyambi always takes us to these crazy things at like weird times. Like it always gonna be about rape or sexual abuse or domestic violence, and she be like, "Surprise! It's just gonna have fun." And I'm like, "Ain't nothing fun about this." So we went to the Kennedy Center, and shout out to the company. I think they did a really good job.
Yes.
But it was. Like 3 or 4 hours.
Yes, it was long. I was like, how many they gonna do?
LGBT
black
short plays.
Yes.
Like, and it was kind of like all the gay dudes in Howard had just came together like, dog, we gonna do a play. And y'all all invited.
Yeah.
And we just gonna be here. It was, you know, for my Atlanta people, it was an aquarium. Yeah. It was aquarium in a throne room. It was just full of fish and queens. That was it, right? Like they was just
performing,
and they did a really good job. And I wanted to give them a shout out for that. And I really enjoyed myself. But it was some really deep and some strong.
It was a lot of deep stuff because the first couple stories, I'm like, okay, like this is LBGTQ, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, cool. And then like as it's going on, I'm like, so is this whole thing just 6? Like it is like coming, it is coming out stories. Like that's more or less what it should have been called because like everyone had some type of LBD. I can't even get out. I got LBGTQRS, TUV, WXY.
There you go. Right on, family.
Listen,
watch yourself.
No, but on serious note, they did have a lot of like interesting things going on, and I was like, at first I was like, is this all coming out stories? But they really had like some dope ass concept. Like, I didn't even think about it. Like
I don't know that one when their daughter or son had died.
Yeah.
And it was the parents arguing. And at first you didn't know why they was arguing.
Yeah.
Because they didn't explain it, but it came out it was so it was born as a woman.
Yeah.
But I guess, she later decided that he was to be
yeah.
a man, right? And so the father's like, well, we have a son, not a daughter.
Yeah.
And they went with that and they picked out the suit and they did that. But the mom snuck behind the daddy back and then
put her ass in a dress
and a wig.
The wig with lipstick and blush.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then the daddy was like, hell no.
This is my son.
Yeah, and he was like, this is my daughter. It was deep. I can see that happening.
You just waited until you didn't think I would say nothing.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to say shit. Because he had locked himself in the room with the body.
Yes.
And he was just like, damn.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, that one. And then the people who was acting in that.
Yeah, it was.
Like some of them you can tell was babies. Like you can tell this kind of their first. They're getting their feet wet. Like, I would say they majoring probably in acting at Howard, right? But the ones who did that, they were seasoned. We're talking about Viola. Like at the end of the scene, and she was supposed to be crying.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
is she crying for real?
Yes.
Because you saw tears.
Yes.
I was like, did this happen in her real life?
No.
Then she just dried them off. I was like,
smile. Look.
I was like, this good woman is an actress.
Like,
she's a beast.
Yeah.
She was. That was a good one. I also thought it was a good one where they were talking about the AIDS epidemic in the 90s. Ooh. And they had this one scene where they were trying to collect the body. And, being in public health, we know how people were really afraid of HIV at that time. It was considered what it was called gay-related infectious disease or something of that nature. Yeah. And so there was a brother and his brother-in-law, or the man who was dating his married to his other brother, and they were collecting the body. And and the last scene was we all thought that they were collecting the body to take it in a hearse, and just bury it somewhere secretly.
Yeah.
But it was a dump truck.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, Jesus.
A dump truck.
Yeah.
And incinerating it at the dump.
God
damn.
And collect it.
Because he was like, there's nowhere to take our body.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like the hidden traumas within the black community is because if you don't have the economic resources to do this, and then a disease hits our community and we're not talking about it, then we have to take different avenues, right, that other communities don't have to take in order to bury our dead. Yeah. And black people in death has been is a very strong connection.
Yeah.
Right.
Ritual heavy.
Ritual heavy. We don't have any other rituals. Death is a strong ritual because of slavery, death has always followed us.
Right.
So I thought that was a really, really deep scene. So,
Absolutely.
but I was really proud of all the people in the play and things of that nature, and
Absolutely.
they did a good job.
They did a good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Like it was a variety of people. Like I said, it was babes. You can tell it was freshmen at Howard to folks who've been doing this their whole life.
Yeah.
So that was good.
And that was the thing, like even because they was like reading from like a binder or whatever. It was almost like table reads type thing.
Yes. I would say it's more of a table read.
It was more or less like table reads, but you can feel like some of this shit. I was like, oh.
Some of it hit you in the throat.
Had my unemotional ass feeling like, damn, this is tough.
Yeah, some stuff hit you in the throat. Some stuff I was like, y'all play too much.
Y'all gonna put that man in the dump truck?
In the dump truck.
Damn.
At first, in my head, I thought it was like a pickup truck going to like a funeral, black home funeral home after hours.
Yeah.
No.
Hand of business.
It ended up being a garbage truck, and they gonna incinerate his ass.
Can you imagine that was your mama or
That's
something
what
like
I'm
that?
saying.
You got to put your mama in the garbage
In the
can?
garbage.
Like she garbage.
Yeah.
But that was his brother, and one dude's brother, and the other dude's lover, husband, partner, and they was just gonna have to put him in the dump truck.
Yeah.
Like he was garbage.
And then the what is it called? The medical person was like, you can't use no gurney.
Yeah.
So
you
y'all
can't
got
use
to
no
pick his ass
gurney.
up.
You got to come here, pick him up, and put him over
And
there.
And then you
Everybody
got to throw him in the dump.
Yes. And everybody like, we done babe this man, we done fed him all this ice
And
shit.
we not sick.
Yeah.
And then he gets smart. Well, he looked as good as y'all did a year ago.
Right.
Ooh, shade.
It was shady. But I think the garbage man was like, I don't care.
You know, I loved and hated him at the same time.
Because he's like, I'm about this money.
Yeah.
By these dollars.
But also, he didn't seem scared of, the AIDS. Like, that's the other thing. I was like, well, I can put respect on that. But he was definitely about his money game. And how the other guy, like, chickened out. I got to worry about my family. And it's just like, what? What are you talking about?
But the sad part is that in all communities, not just black communities, these ideas still exist, right?
Yes.
And,
and
we see that HIV is still ravaging our communities, right? When we talk about Black love, that's one of the things we have to talk about is HIV, because there's so many people within our community in different forms of expression of Black love have been exposed to HIV. And so, that's one of the more dangerous things. But, I thought it was great. I loved it. And
yes, good stuff. Yeah.
That's what's
up. And that one dude at the end reminded a friend of mine.
A few folks reminded a friend.
I was like, damn.
Reading journals.
Yeah. I thought I was back at Morehouse. I said, what? I said, brother, come on now.
They pulled them directly from journals. I done heard these stories. So the ones they had, I done heard these stories before. This wasn't the first time I heard the story. So they put it on blast. Yes.
Well, baby, we got some pillow talk?
Yeah, we got some pillow talk. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, we thought since we have our good friend on here, it's kind of the role of friendship. So, I believe in looking at, different online sources, articles and things. And actually we found something in Psychology Today that really talked about the role of friendship kind of across the lifespan. So I thought that'd be a good conversation for us to have. Before we jump into it, I just kind of wanted to give a brief summary on what the article said. So they kind of broke it down to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 areas, right?
Okay.
Of like your life and the type of friends that you have. So first, they broke it down in early childhood. So kind of we need these friends to, play with and who are accessible and kind of the preteen, early teen years. And we need these friends who accept us and let us hang out with them, lunch, all that stuff. Late adolescence, we need friends who think like us, dress like us, enjoy what we enjoy, kind of why you kind of develop. So as you're figuring out yourself.
Right. In
your 20s and 30s, you're kind of finding your way into your adult identity. So we need to develop a diverse group of friends to support as we grow kind of in our social and professional lives. So we need friends along the way who make sense of the we're becoming. This is the one I thought was unique, kind of this idea of motherhood years. So, and we're going to have to get back to this one. So we need kind of other women to, tell us what it is to be like a mom and navigate within that. I got some views on it. I don't have children, so I don't want to momsplain. But I got some views on being, a woman in her 30s that with friends with babies, but we'll get there. And then the next one is kind of this idea of full on adulthood. So we need friends who don't waste our time. I love that. Right. Friends who don't waste our time, who challenge us to be better people, who understand who we are without having to explain all that good stuff. And then lastly, older adulthood. So we need all these friends and social supports we can get. So that's kind of the opposite side of it. So I almost see a big circle. So back to almost that when you were a child, early childhood. As an older, you need that friend who's gonna get you the hell out the house, or at least say, "Come on the porch," or "Are you going to your doctor's appointments?" It's more than life than your grandkids and your kids. That's what I really seen that, and I thought that was unique, and I seen it almost as a full circle. So I got viewpoints on this. So let's dive on in. What y'all thought about it when you seen it, or is there any areas that stood out to y'all? What y'all thought?
Yeah.
Well,
why you do that, Nero? See, Nero's known to do that. With me and Nia, he be like, "What y'all think?
This is your idea." I thought it was a really interesting article. My thing is, as someone who has like really good friends, is that as you get older, you start noticing your circle start shrinking. Right? My circle is tight as a Cheerio now, right? Like I can't have no loose ends.
Yes.
And it's not because you don't want to have friends. Well, that's not true, because Niambi has said, I don't have no room for no more friends, right? And so I think that was like 2015. She was like, well, all friends I got.
That's it.
I ain't got no more new friends.
No applications yet.
But I think you do get to the point where you start knowing yourself and what kind of people you want to be around, right? So I'm the type of person that my friends have to eat all their food. Right? So if you don't eat all your food, we can't be friends, right? Like, because if I put something in front of you, you be like, I don't eat that, I get kind of offended.
Yes.
And so I know that about myself. Like, and I think that there are different things that, like when we went to that vegan festival, and this man came to us and he wanted to give his testimony about how he became a vegan, and he wanted to talk to me, and he was like, I want to tell you about my veganism, and I was like, brother, before you even begin, I shop at Walmart. Yes. I eat red meat and I wear fur. Like I'm like,
we're not running in the same circle.
We can't. I was like, you need to talk to this brother.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, there are different friends that you get in life, but you kind of start narrowing them in.
Yes.
And some people, like we were talking, and some people, their friendship levels kind of peak.
Yes.
In high school, and they're friends for life, or friends who they only have in high school. But then some people, like as they go on, their friends expand, and then it kind of peaks, right? Like, and they have a different perspective. My thing that's really hard is when you have friends from like high school or elementary, and they want you to be the same person you were then, and you ain't that person no more. Yeah.
You're not willing to let them grow and expand. And I think those are the hardest friends for how do you navigate them. So I think that goes back to when we talk about soulmates or people are in your life for reasons and seasons. And how do you almost break up with them? Like, we can't do this no more.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I think I'm more or less battling now. Is like some of the friends that I grew up in the hood or high school to play, you know, football with, you know, I come back to Detroit and like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it's like, how about no? Truthfully, I want some coney.
Yeah.
I want a corned beef sandwich, and I want to hang out with some family.
Yeah.
And some of the friends that I really want to catch up with.
You don't want to play Guess Who Got Shot?
I don't want to play.
Yes.
I don't want to play Guess Who Dead. I don't want to play Guess Who Got Shot because all that wears on me. Yeah. I just want to have some fun and laugh. And like, you know, just trying to figure out like how do you I want to say prune, but how do you, you know, adjust with, you have like these long time friends, you know, from early childhood or later adolescence that you more or less can't get rid of because they still like reach out, they call and all this other stuff. Like, how do you be like, hey, bruh, I appreciate you reaching out and talk to me, but you always come to me with bad news, and I really don't like your energy, and that's one of the reasons why I don't call you. How do you? Because you always like, hey man, I'm thinking about you. You know, I called you. How about you call me when you thinking about me? And I'm like, well, I'm really not. I don't think about you.
Damn.
So like, how do you?
Lord Satan, fatality.
But like, how do you deal with somebody like that, or like? I want to say finesse the situation because evidently they still care about you, or like, you know, the feelings they're not mutual because they think of you.
Thought of you.
The thought or the feelings, you know, is not mutual because they're like, you know, I thought about you, I called you, I'm checking up on you, you know, let's hang out. But their energy is just so fucked up that you don't want to be around.
And they don't know how to respect the swerve.
And they don't know how to respect the swerve.
You swerving.
Yes.
And they ain't trying to hear the swerve. They trying to you like, no, I'm swerving on you. I'm ghosting you.
Yes.
And they ain't expecting the swerve.
Yeah.
You know, for me, because I become El Goso. But I swerve on people all the time. I think
speaking to the mic, brother.
I swerve on people all the time. I think the hard part is when people don't respect the swerve. My thing is, we can be lifelong friends if you bring in stuff to the table.
Yes.
So if I'm bringing additional things and I'm growing as a person, you don't have to be where I'm at, and I don't have to be where you're at. I'm not even saying I'm at your level. You may be at a greater level than I am. But if your higher level is constantly bringing negative and bad talk or drama or something like that, I really don't want it, right? Like, you really want a friend who, okay, I know we have bad times and I know we can go through things, and that's a bonding experience. Like, we go through these hard times. But my thing is, if all the times are bad, if all the times are like hard times, then how do you really, you know, gauge
there's
that?
no growth.
I
think that's the biggest thing when there's no growth happening. But what I'm learning, because like I said, I'm kind of getting towards the end of that with a couple friends I'm with. Sometimes they're not with you because they care about you, because you the cushion. So you the only one who hung on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So everybody else done kicked them to the curb, like, we ain't playing with you no more. But you the only one that still hung on. So you the comfortable piece.
Yeah.
So you they comfortable. You they security blanket. And you doing, both of you are doing yourself a disservice. So sometimes, folks, that's how you have to grow. So I think everybody has this moment where, like, I feel so alone.
Yeah.
And what does it mean to be alone with this aloneness? But if you're not even allowing that to happen, you blocking God's plan too. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, sometimes you just really got to kick people to the curb.
And I don't think that it's always one, like, a conversation with somebody, because I live far from people, doesn't have to be a 100% time about you all the time. It don't have to be 50-50 between me and you. It don't have to be about me 100% of the time. But it needs to be some give and take in our friendship. Like, you know, and I think the part that you're like, I don't want to be this person's friend anymore, is when there's no give and take.
Right.
So every time you call me, I always say this: if I got to be prayed up when I see your name come across my phone, Jesus, if I look at your name and said, Lord, give me strength to get through. And you know, Niram called me out when he was like, when Nia is screening your calls when you don't get nothing. When it just goes straight to, it don't even go straight to voicemail. It just ring, 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 ring. Yeah. And then it goes to voicemail either because I done looked at that phone and I'm in prayer. Yeah. And by the time the Lord give me the answer, whether I need to answer it, you done already got the voicemail, and I'm like, well, you done answered it for me, Lord. Right? Like you done. Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Go on about yourself.
So I think that's the hard part.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it happens, and I think it happens to everybody. Yeah. Everybody can't stay with you.
And that's one of the things, like growing up, and like when I was having this decision, like, well, do I leave and go to, a small black college to play football, or do I stick around and try to, get a scholarship or go to a community college? And, the dope boys was like, nigga, you need to go. Yeah. Because when you come back, it's going to be the same niggas doing the same thing over and over again. Like the niggas who was selling dope, they still going to be selling dope. The niggas who wasn't shit, they still ain't going to be shit when you get back. And that's one of the things that you can notice, like when you leave and go get touched by white hands, you come back and like, damn, this nigga is still doing the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
The nigga who was having a bunch of kids and had a bunch of kids and had a bunch of more, the niggas who are doing dope boy shit still doing it. And it's like, well, where's the growth? Yeah. And it's like, where... is it because I left that I had this whole like disruption and had growth and things of that sort versus being in the comfort zone and being in the city? Because I even think about here, like being in DC area, I know there's people who hasn't left the city. DC, at all. Like ever. Yeah. And like DC is one, it's a wonderful place and probably like one of my favorite places and like top 5 places where, I want to stay. But if you can't leave your own city and grow, like what's the point?
It's not. Yeah. It's not at all. The other thing that stood out to me when they were talking about this idea of motherhood, but also when I was thinking about motherhood, I think another phase is when people get married. I think something happens to folks when they get married. Some people, I should say, and they get clicked up. And if you're not married or if you don't fit in their traditional norms, they don't want you around no more. I done seen people near them, to talk about the married piece, that folks who just got married to somebody they done known for a year or two. And then they're like, well, we're just trying to hang out with married couples. Meanwhile, on the ranch, we've been together for over 12 years. Right. So we done been together successfully and in love for longer than the whole group. So add up all y'all relationships. Like, Yeah. And something happens. And that's why it stuck out to me when they talked about this idea of motherhood. And I understand you got to have, women or, who've had kids to help you navigate through that. But it also comes to that piece, why do you think you got to cut off your girlfriends too? Meanwhile, I know we ain't gonna be the closest we have, but why do you think it's this idea? It's almost on this side when a woman has kids that your single woman gonna be like, oh no, bitch, bye.
Right.
Can I say something about motherhood?
Yeah. Go ahead.
If you are my friend and you got a baby who can't talk, don't put him on the phone with Uncle Al. Please don't do it. Oh, I hate that. Oh, can y'all stop that? Baby, like, nah.
All you hear is this. What's an AMSR?
Yeah.
We ain't friends no more. I'm like, can you stop that?
Yeah, I don't know why people do that. Or they put them on the FaceTime and like, look at them. And the baby looking crazy. I'm like, oh, they look crazy.
I'm like, the baby can't even see that. Yeah. You know how my dad done raised me. They be like, who you think the baby look like? Like the daddy. Like the daddy. Because if it's you or if it's not you. Right? Yes. But I think that it's like, I think that one of the things that we know that if you have a long-term friend is when you call them, you haven't called them for 3 or 4 months, and you pick up, you still have that 2-3 hour phone call, right? Like y'all can still talk about things. Pick it up. And I love talking about your kids. Like I love having those conversations about your children and things of that nature. I don't want to make it seem like I don't. My thing is that I respect what your life has become, and I also want you to respect what my life has become, right? So I'll come to your play dates, and I'll come to your birthday parties and things of that nature, but I'm also need to go out because I'm trying to make mines too.
Come on.
Right?
Hey.
Come on.
Right. So, and my thing is, you booed up, and your husband or your wife got some in-laws. Yeah. If they that good, why am I still single?
Why? Come on.
Ladies.
Right? Come on. Why am I still single?
Yeah. If you single and ready to mingle, and he's a doctor.
If y'all, you see what I'm saying?
Yes. It don't always go.
Yeah.
It don't always go.
Like I said, he's a doctor and he's single ready to mingle.
Yes.
DC, DMV area.
Why you going down a call? You silly. You said just at blacklove.matters@gmail.com. You silly.
Send me your picture and your email address.
You silly.
And we can get it popping.
You take a picture?
Yes.
He said no profiles. We believe in catfish. Send us a direct headshot.
Put a newspaper underneath it.
Yeah, we want all with the
Got to
letter.
be within the last 3 days.
Exactly.
He a doctor.
You silly.
He a doctor, y'all.
I just think that phase was something that was interesting to, point out to be like, well, what the hell? What is these separate groups of friends? You get it, and
And also think about like how some of these friends can like transform throughout the thing. So I even think about like these early childhood friends and how they still like go through the whole process of being late adolescence, your 20s to 30s, motherhood, and things of that sort. Yeah. Because I have a couple of friends that was like, these is like my first friends that I've ever known.
Yes. I think
and
you
like,
can have friends through all these phases. I think them.
They rare.
They rare.
They are rare.
But I think they're very important. And I think something you brought up, Nia, is even when we talk about this motherhood, and I think about till you brought it up, was this idea of fatherhood.
Yeah.
And
daddy needs help too.
And I don't think, this aren't going to even mention at all, but I didn't even think about that to say, where it's a lot of mommy support groups. There's a lot of mommy blogs, right? Yeah. But where is the daddy support?
Which is the reason why daddies don't be knowing what to talk about, right? Because they ain't got no support, they ain't got nobody to talk to. No. Right, so I think that's one of the problems within, not like I said, not just the black community, but all communities, all right? Communities. And that's harmful. I understand, you have friends, you need somebody you can talk to, especially about things that you're going through. You need a different perspective. Yeah. And I think that you need friendships outside of your relationship, right? Yes. And your friends need to respect your relationships, right? Like I think that's one of the things I always tell people. I always tell my female friends, if your boyfriend don't like me and I ain't did shit to him, he gay. Yeah. Right? Right? Because I ain't did nothing to him. Right? So he trying to hide something, right? But if I did something to him, he like, Nia talk too much shit, or Nia talk too much, or I really ain't feeling him, then I understand. But if I ain't did nothing to him, it's something he trying to hide. Yes. And it may not be gay. It may be that, he got a gambling problem. He's scared I'm going to sniff something out of him. Right? So I think that you need your friends, like you said, Niambi, that sometimes you have friends who you just want to bring around so they pass the sniff test, right? Yep. Is this girl tick, tick, boom, boom? Right. Is this dude tick, tick, boom, boom? Right? Like we were having a conversation, if you bring somebody around and they're like this, what's going on with them? They're a millionaire. No more questions. Thank you.
Welcome to the community.
Thank you to the group. Right. See you at Kwanzaa on your yacht.
That needs catered for us.
In South Africa.
Yes, off the coast.
Asante Sana.
The Golden Coast.
Exactly. Take me to Cote d'Ivoire. Yeah. So I think that there's different parts. I think that there are different parts. Like I said, I have friends who I have been friends with since adolescence. Mm-hmm. And I have friends with that I just met. I think one of the things that's really interesting that we talk about is how do you integrate your friends?
Yes.
Right? Because lately you have college friends or you have grad school friends. And then you're trying to integrate them with your, elementary school or middle school friends or high school friends. Yeah. And my thing is, my friendships, they got different knowledge of where I was at.
Exactly.
Right? So everybody don't know everything about me. No. So everybody know when they get together. Mm-hmm.
There's an exchange of information.
Yeah. Like I can't have I remember one time we was getting together and it was like people from every school I ever went to was going to be in one place, and I was sweating bullets. I was like, they all going to be together. They all going to tell my business.
Yeah, because that's what my friends do. I got a friend who always tells good horror stories from high school and middle school. I'm like, shut your mouth. Wait a minute, Brazier. We tell her all my business.
So how do you navigate that, like bringing friends together?
I think naturally, I always like to bring people together. So I think that's one of we talked about intimacy. Yeah. So I think that's one of my good and bad characteristics. So the way I bring folks together, I think is through me. So I always try to make connections of folks. To be like, oh, I did so-and-so, and this reminds me of you. Because a lot of my friends, they kind of repeat themselves. Yeah. So they might be at different kind of phases in their life, but a lot of my friends are very, very similar. So that's how I kind of try to connect people. Like I always be like, oh, so-and-so does this, you do. I always try to be like a connector for people. So that's something that's huge for me, and this idea of harmony. So and I think my friends know that. So they know if I'm bringing folks together, that means if I'm giving you the seal of approval, I'm giving you the seal of approval. Right. and moving forward with that. I know that's something you don't like to do, Near. You keep folks very in their own pockets.
You're my high school friend.
We just gonna meet on high school time.
Yeah, we ain't talking about high school stuff.
It's very like even some of your friends. I remember meeting some of them. I was like, do they exist? I know one of your good friends. I'm like, I don't know if this person exists. You keep talking about y'all best friend. I ain't never met. We know we've been together for 5-6 years. Is this person real? Get on the phone. All right, I gotta go. See you later. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Is she a woman on the side?
Yeah, I said she either make believe or she's something else. So I think it's real. I really enjoy integrating groups of friends. I think sometimes to a detriment, but I like crossing over friend groups, but also for this idea, and I think that's what they talked about in the 20s and 30s for this idea of kind of social and professional networking too. So I think it took me a while to understand kind of the difference in that. Like, the work that I did, I really loved what I did and I did what I loved. So a lot of those circles I used to try to integrate in. So, especially being brown people because the circle are already tight. So, it's only 5 of us in the whole field or in this all, so we might as well, navigate within it, get to know each other a little bit more and understand each other, move forward. And it really took me a while to understand that everybody didn't think this way. Not that I thought that, but it's like, the common goal to kind of move up in your realm, help your brown people, and do the best you can do.
Make the most money that you can.
Yes.
And live in the deluxe apartment in the sky.
Yeah. But everyone did not do that. So I think it really goes to kind of almost what you were saying. We were talking about, Nia, having your core group of friends sniff these folks out before you integrate them to the bigger group of folks. So I have like 2 or 3 friends that I'm like, they meet everybody. So even if it's through if you don't meet in person, it's through conversation. I'm gonna bring them up. You're gonna be like, nah. You done talked about that person. They done said this too many times. So I think it's about having kind of that core advisory board as your initial folks. They'd be like, is this a yes or a no? And they'd be like, that is a no. You do not bring them around. So I do. I don't know if y'all notice that. I'll say certain people and I'm like, what y'all think? And they be like, hell no. And I'm like, all right. I think it goes back to how you used to describe friends by like cards.
Yeah.
And everybody ain't equal.
Everybody ain't equal.
And that's how you really got to get
I tell people that constantly.
We're going to break it down for the listeners.
You got friends are like cards. You got aces, you got deuces, you got kings, queens, and all that. But you also got 4 types of cards. You got hearts, you got diamonds, you got spades, and you got clubs. And I tell people that spades are people that if you in jail, they're gonna be right there beside you. They are ride or die. They are like, they in jail. Like, girl break up with her boyfriend, she be like, I'm gonna brick his house. You be right there throwing bricks. You got in the car, like you ride, right? Diamonds are people who fund things, and they're the friends. Everybody ain't a diamond. No. So sometimes you be like, my light's going out, and you want to call somebody, and they love you to death, but you be like, my power light's going out. They ain't got no money for you. Yes. And then you have some friends who are diamonds who you constantly see them like, they'll be like, oh, I got this, I can pick this up and things of that nature, and you can be that diamond to them. Yeah. Then you have clubs. Clubs are people who do what you like to do. So if you like to go hiking, they like to go hiking. If you like to shut down the club, they like to shut down the club. If you like to go strip clubs, they like to go strip clubs, right? And then you have hearts. Hearts are people who, when you're going through things in life, you can call them and be like, my mama passed, or my grandmother died, or my dog got hit by a bus, or my boyfriend or girlfriend left me, or me and my sister ain't getting along. And they will constantly be there to comfort you and help you through life. And the thing is, people can be multiple cards. Like a person don't have to just be a spade. They can be a spade and a diamond. I have a friend that I love to death. She is a club and she is a diamond, right? Like you call her and you be like, hey, what's up? And you be trying to tell her what's going on in your life. And she's like, baby, I ain't got time for that. I got to make coins. Yes. Right? And she will hang the phone up on you. You be like, but I thought we was friends. So you just took me out and we had a good time. And when I need something, you telling me you're going to pay for my tuition, if I need some money or something like that. She's still a friend. She's just not a heart or a spade, right? And then you have people who, like I said, are spades. They will brick a house for you. Yes. But when you are sitting there and you're like, my girlfriend broke up with me, my boyfriend broke up with me, and they be like, player, I ain't really got time to talk. Like you got to go about your business. Right? So I think that, you have people who are high numbers where they may be a king of diamonds. Like I always say, you may have a friend who is a 3 of diamonds. Only thing they may pick up is like, you be like in Burger King,
Yep.
and you're like, oh, it's 56 cents, and they be like, oh, I got 6 cents on me.
Yeah.
Right, like that, right? Like they have 3.
Yeah.
And then you got people who are like a king or a queen who you are in school, and you like, my mama and daddy check bounce. I don't know what I'm gonna do, and they're sitting there writing you checks out and be like, don't worry about paying it back.
Absolutely.
And I think that the problem is that we try to make people cards they aren't.
That's a
Right.
word.
It's a word.
You want to make a diamond into a heart. You want to make a spade into a club. They ride or die, but they don't want to do what you want to do. I like going to museums. They're, I have friends who will listen to me, cry, tell. I've had a friend who I pick up the phone and just cry on the phone, and they be like, "It's okay. Do you want me to just hear you cry?" And I'm like, "Yes." But then I ask that same friend, there's a show going on at no, I don't want to go. You be like, what? Like, you don't want to.
You just heard me cry.
Yeah, like, but you don't want to hang out with me? Like, unless I'm crying? Like, so I think that the problem is that we trying to make cards people who aren't those cards.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's kind of the perfect, example of how, we navigate and when we picking friends, going through friends, and the idea of just meeting people where they're going to be at. Also going on, I know they talked about the full adulthood. Something about this sentence gave me life. We need friends who don't waste our time, who challenge us to be better people and to understand who we are without having to explain. That's a damn word.
Yeah.
That's a word.
That's what you strive for in friends.
Message.
Again, I'm going to read this again. We need friends who don't waste our damn time, who challenge us to be better people and to understand who we are without having to explain. That's the keys. If you can find a friend who will be like, yeah, I hear you. That's wrong, though. You can't do this.
Yeah.
All right, but I hear you. Yeah, I get it. That's the secret sauce. So if you can find folks like that, that's really what you want.
Because that's why I only give my friends 3 days to cry for a bad relationship.
Yeah.
You get the same amount of time Jesus got in that grave. Okay? Jesus was walking around in there and he was like, I can't believe I fed these people, changed water into wine, walked on water, healed them, and they done stuck me in my side and hung me from this cross. He was all in his feelings for them 3 days. Now, this dude done broke up with you. He didn't even get you a large popcorn in the movie theater, and you crying over him for like months. I got a friend who only been with a girl for a month. And he on his 3rd month crying about her. I'm like, can you please get over her?
Move on.
You get 3 days. Finally, I was like, you done. You done. You not upset about her
no more. No more. That's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. I try to work through that. Even when I was going through, my situation, I said, Nia, I'm sad about this. I'm gonna take 3 days the weekend. He said, you only get 3. I said, okay. I said, I think I'm on hour 12.
Oh my God.
I said, I'm on hour 12.
Yeah.
He said, go get them ice cream then and your salt and vinegar. I said, okay, I'll call you back. Them skins.
Salt and vinegar
It's
skins
my
from
weakness.
Detroit.
It's my weakness. It is my
Get you
weakness.
some chicharron.
Niram, I know that's your favorite, but that's your philosophy. Niram is an all or none. I tell him sometimes you got to be able to give 20. Niram don't believe in that. So if you Niram's friend, he is your friend. There's no option. There's no doubt in your mind if Niram's your friend or not.
Nope.
No doubt. So this is very black and white.
But my thing is when Niram don't want to be your friend. Oh my God. Because that shit is black and white.
Oh, it's too much.
Right?
It makes other people uncomfortable.
Yeah. But he not. He not uncomfortable.
No, I'm sure ain't.
Niram is a person who you be in the room, you mad, but Niram is smiling and cheesing,
She's
talking to everybody in that room.
Yeah.
And you like,
why is
in the
happening?
world? And everybody's like, but you can tell he's skipping over you. Like he ain't talking to you.
Thank you.
Not
you.
Not you.
Not you.
Thank you.
Not you.
That's a talent. And it gets to the point where I'll notice Niram do it to people, and then they try like harder to be nice to him.
And he's not feeling.
I said, why are y'all even trying to be nice to him? Just leave him alone.
I don't fuck with you.
How do you do that? Is that your learned mechanism?
Yeah.
Because I know you ain't been happy since 92. No joy since 92.
I ain't had no joy since 92.
Since the last Biggie album came out.
But that's something I'm not good at.
Yeah.
Baby. No,
I like to I'm a big forgiver. So
No, I think it just comes from like growing up on the east side of Detroit and like seeing people like literally get killed and seeing people beef out and like, life experiences that I'm at the point like I ain't got time.
True.
I ain't got time. If I don't fuck with you, you gonna know I don't fuck with you because we gonna be in a place and everybody gonna be laughing and giggling with me. I'm gonna be the
Not
belle.
with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the belle of the motherfucking ball.
Oh, okay. Come on, Cancer.
I'm gonna be
Come
the
on,
belle of the
Cancer
ball,
energy. Yeah.
and you gonna know that I ain't fucking with you.
Me on a rant. Nyambi, can we have a conversation?
Yes. Nira, why are you being so mean to them? Won't you say hi to them? I gave them a head nod when I came through the door.
Not a head
That's
nod.
the first thing I made sure that I did.
And I think that's the difference between the three of us, how we handle it. Because Nyambi, if her relationships ain't working out, she gonna want to talk to the person, right? Niram is gonna be completely silent from her, and I'm gonna cuss you out on my way out the door, right? I'm gonna be like, look, bitch, motherfucking bitch, nigga, fuck ass nigga. I don't like your why? Because I asked you for that pencil eraser in third grade, and you ain't give it to me.
They did it. I think that the last piece about this, then we can move to kitchen table talk, is this idea of older adulthood. And I think I'm seeing this more now as my parents and my grandparents are getting older, and how important it is. So I think this struck a chord to me when I'm thinking about more so not my parents, 'cause I think they still in that full adulthood. They ain't in the older adulthood necessarily. Depend on the day, honey, when they be puzzling out them glasses. But I think more so of my grandfather. So
my mother too,
yeah, because your mother's a little older too. So my grandfather, my grandmother's been gone for a couple years. Although she had Alzheimer's, he kind of had a routine. So even though she was in the home, he would get up, make his breakfast, go see her, and he'd be at the home all day like he lived there. But they had activities they'll do. So he'll take her out, he'll eat, they'll go around. But when she passed away, that kind of stopped. And again, being the one touched by white hands and not home as much, I always be like, well, what Papa doing? Because my grandfather used to be highly involved in the community. So, of course, he worked at the plant. He knew all those people at the plant, highly involved in church. He was a Mason. So, it was always
he's still a Mason.
I'm sorry. I know he's seen the light. I know it's always the light and y'all guiding light and the okay, skull and bones. I understand.
Ain't no skulls and bones over here.
Okay. Whatever it is, the light.
Please don't tell the secrets.
I don't want to know the secrets. I'm waiting till I meet the Lord and I'm going to ask him all the secrets. But he doesn't necessarily do that as much. And it gets to the point and he's happy and that type of thing. But where's that sense of friendship that he has? Mind you, I got cousins who go over there. So you got grandkids and kids, but that's different.
Right.
They ain't friends. He's still Papa. Like, he's still this, overarching, always looking out for us, thinking, watching. That's different than having friends. And I think that's why I was really excited when I went home to celebrate his 85th birthday. He had his friends there. Yeah. Like, his friends were there and his brother was there and they was kicking. Like, that was a different side of him that I haven't seen in years. And it's like, how do you keep that going? What does it look like to maintain that in that type of age? And I think that's something that was like, dang, how do I get this in place? Like, do I got to write it in my living will to my children? Take me to go see Nia.
I think that when I see your parents, I think that, I think they are like an example of what friends are. Because like your mom and your godmother, like they still aces, right? And they'll tell stories about how they used to work in a hotel when they 20s and they're, older in years now. What I think is really funny is how you end up being your parents when you get older and you repeat their friendships. Because like my mother, Kunme, she is cutthroat with her friends, right? She just be like, why don't nobody want to hang out with me? I don't understand, Kunme. Because you a liar. right? Like, I'm like, Kunme, you ain't had to tell that woman she was a liar to her face, right? Because you a thief. They think that you steal stuff. And I'm like, Kunme, but the thing is that she's so loyal. Like my mom, she's ride or die. So even if she is mean to you in words, she gonna be your best friend. Right. Like she's the most consistent one. And I didn't realize that until like I was talking to Niram and I was like, what's one word did you describe me? He was like, loyal. But I'm cutthroat. Right? Because I would tell you need to stop crying. Right? Like don't nobody like you because they think you a mooch. Right? Absolutely. Right? You a mooch, and so nobody like you. And I think that's the hard part, like that people don't,
Yeah.
And I even see it like with my mother, like, my mother's 70 and like, my sister, her sister just passed. So like going through that and, my mom also have like another good friend and they road dogs. Like they go get free food together. Even they don't need it. Food. They go get free food every weekend, every Sunday. Every Wednesday and Saturday they going to go get free food somewhere. And like my mama has literally, if the apocalypse happened, I'm going to Detroit at my mama house because she got a deep freezer full of food and she got
full cakes.
Yes,
full
cakes, pies, everything.
Collard greens.
Fully cooked.
And just food, just boxes of food lined up to the wall. She is a Lord. I hope that's a trait that I don't get.
You are a hoarder.
Moving on. But I also see like how like they have like she have this friendship and they had this bond. But you can tell when they get beef. They got that old lady beef.
Ooh, Lord.
Oh my God, when they had that old lady beef, and I'd be like, why are y'all are 70? Why the fuck are y'all beefing knowing that y'all gonna be friends 2 weeks later?
Yeah. What they beef about?
Everything.
Yeah.
From who gonna take who to church? Oh, she done left me.
Always arguing about who gonna take who to church.
Who gonna take who somewhere? I'm not talking to her. Why? Because I told her I was going to church at 10:30, and she told me I need to be there at 10. And I was like, no, I just got out the shower. I need my pores to close, so I'm going at 10:30. So she just left, and she ain't talked to me since then. Why y'all beefing, Mama?
Yeah,
this is old
beef.
lady beef.
Yeah, it's okay to be late to church. At that age, you done served the Lord plenty.
Yeah, you gonna meet the Lord soon.
Yeah, you done served the Lord plenty. It's okay to be a little late to church. Yeah.
But as you get older in age, I think it is important to have not only like grandkids and things of that sort, but also friendships and other relationships to get your ass out the house, to stay moving and things of that sort. Because I know it brings my mom so much joy because she's a mother of a church, and she they go to Ram's Horn or some type of Coney Island or something, and just go have fun and chit chat. And I was like, oh, so y'all sharing secrets of the church, son?
Yeah.
She said, no, the pastor gonna be there, but once we leave, we gonna gossip.
It's already explicit. Once he leaves,
right?
Amen.
We can't tell no secrets because the pastor gonna be there.
Because he fronted. He probably paid the bill.
He paid the bill, but once he leaves, we gonna tell all the secrets of the church.
Yes. So I just thought that older adulthood, that's just something special, and thinking when you get older, and you're not able to move as much, so you're not as mobile. What do you set up in place to say, I want to stay active, I want to do this? So I'm already thinking, I'm writing out to my children and be like, I'm gonna pay you X amount of dollars, and this is what you need to do. And if you stop doing, ain't no money deposit. Because I think that's important. Whereas we said we just gonna get a compound and we all gonna live on it.
Right. Yeah, that's my idea.
All the friends together.
Well, because when you reach a certain age, your kids is grown, they might have grandkids. When you hit that 78, I think
I don't want to be driving an hour to see y'all.
No,
I ain't.
I just want to come outside.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, and just wave.
Exactly.
All right.
And be somewhere warm for my bones, and we go back in the house.
Exactly. And it's going to happen.
Yes. So I just think that was special. Well, I love that conversation.
Yeah, that was dope.
Friendship and having one of our good friends here to talk about it. Well, we got some kitchen table talk?
Yes, we do.
All righty.
So to submit a question, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. That's blacklovematters@gmail.com. Remember, that's black with no K. And it reads, hey, Niram and Nyambi, I'm a new listener. I love the podcast. We love you too. We recently saw a feed on Twitter. I will link it in the email. My question to you is, what is your advice for handling passive-aggressive emails from coworkers? Yeah. Also, what are some of your favorite corporate clapbacks?
So we got to give some context for this. I had to go. It looks like it's a Blavity article that did it, and they summarized it. It's hilarious. So someone just did this kind of this idea of clapbacks. So they had all the ones. Let me just read a couple of them. They said, what's your favorite phrase to use in a professional clapback? And one of them is, per my last email. Other ones is, please advise, after I've listed all the facts. Some other ones is, I'm not sure if my email made it to you, as I haven't heard back. And it said, queen of passive aggressiveness. And another one is, any updates on this? It's really one shady one I want to read that took to cake. Oh, this one is two kind of parts in it. So one is, for transparency in the case of audit. Have you ever could you imagine somebody put that in the email?
Oh my God. I'll be like, what?
I said, when the audit come? I might delete that. I'm like, I'm not even gonna be on this.
Let me tell you the ultimate clapback is that sign if you read, click if you read, of open. Oh my God!
The read receipts. Oh my God!
Why do people do read receipts? I don't know. Whenever I see people do that, I'm like, I'm not opening this until I'm ready.
The secretary at my job do the read receipt for the payroll.
Oh,
she'd be like, "You need to fill out your payroll read receipt." I'm like,
Lord.
Oh man!
So I think one of my favorite corporate clapbacks is I do delayed emails.
What you mean?
I learned that from Nero. What you mean? It'd be so low down.
And Outlook, you can like respond to their email, but you can there's an option where you can click to say, send in 2 hours or whatever. So I do mine where I usually don't send all my emails until 4:59.
What?
Yes.
So all the responses that they did, I usually just send it at 4:59. And it's just a delayed email. I've already responded to it and then delay email to 4:59. So at 4:59, they get my updates and all the answers to the emails all in one fell swoop.
Hold on. So they've sent you emails all day?
All through the day.
Oh, okay. So that's your advice for when folks send it past the grid, like, where is it at update? So you just collect it on like a Post-it note.
I collect all the emails and then I respond to each individual email. And then there's an option in Outlook that's like, delay email till or don't send email till. And then it's all up to 4:59. So they'll send me emails throughout the day. What's the update on this? Have you got my email? All this other stuff. And I wait and I respond to all of them. And then I don't send them all until 4:59.
You tried it. That's beautiful though. I need to
so
think
passive.
back into that. Isn't it?
It's so passive.
But it's the best thing ever.
It is
the best thing ever.
Use it. I ain't gonna lie.
Because the thing is, like, you getting these email arguments, especially when the cubicle is like, you having these damn email conversations. Motherfucker, you right next door to me.
Yeah, say something.
Like, lift your head up over the cubicle and let's have a fucking conversation.
Yeah.
But instead, you went all these damn emails and shit trying to get me all caught up on shit and I don't say. Knowing if you in my face, you wouldn't ask me all this shit. But you want to put in the email.
And delay you from doing your real work.
Right. I can't
you can
do
spend
no
all day
real
answering
fucking,
emails. Yeah.
So instead, I delay my shit back to them. So that negates them from even having an email conversation.
My question is, when you walk past them at 5 o'clock and they still reading your email, you say goodbye. Have a nice day, player.
Because they reading them. And they like, how is he still sending emails and he's gone?
Go.
You walking by.
Gone.
Well, let me tell you, because I always talk to Neuromoy, so they know who I'm talking to. I'm like, yeah, player, what's up? And they're like, ooh, that must be his friend. That must be his friend. I can't get time to talk to y'all.
Oh, my goodness. I would say my advice for passive emails, you got to keep a paper trail. Like, when people do passive aggressive type stuff, they always got to. I always say white folks. I'm assuming if you're working in a white environment, that's only really the environments I don't work in. I ain't really worked in a brown environment, so I don't know how that really go. But I would say they always got an ulterior motive. I would say, sis, if you starting to get these passive aggressive emails, it's your it's your time to really figure out what's the ultimate goal here. So what are they doing? What are they trying to hide? Or what is they trying to, what is the goal? So this time for you to play investigate a little bit.
Also, hate to cut you off.
Yeah.
But they also using this shit for your fucking reviews later on.
Yeah. Well, you can preach on that. You can preach on that one.
They using this shit for your review.
Yes.
So, Bernice said, these motherfuckers stole me in my review that I used too big of a word.
They did.
They did. They told me I used too big words. And I was like, what the fuck? What that mean?
It's like you didn't make up words. We ain't talking about conversation.
No,
we ain't talking about that.
No.
But what they'll do is remember that email I sent you back on such and such, and no, and then they go print it and they bring it to during the review. Well, during this email, I asked you to do X, Y, and Z. You did A, B, C instead. Yeah. Did it get done? Yes, but I wanted it this way. Well, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
So it's time for you. I always say you always got to figure out what their end goal is.
Yeah, because they always trying to micromanage you.
Yeah, it's a micromanage. So you need to figure out their end goal. Is it just a micromanagement? Is it something else going on? Are they scared? Something. I think you have to figure that out. I think that's the strategic part. But also you have to begin keeping your own paper trail on that.
You know what I blame this on?
What?
Bad dick and bad pussy. And I'm done.
That's it. They got way too much. Ain't nobody want to go home. Nobody want to go home.
Because I'm like, if you getting it good at home, when you come to work, you happy.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But when you not getting it good at home, like your man is you done got a weak man, or you done got a weak woman, or somebody who ain't trying to help you and support you in your dreams. You come to work and you start taking that stuff out on people at your job.
Right.
Because I've seen people who you can tell especially when people first start having babies, that's the best time to interact with somebody, because they're like, you know what, I don't got time for pettiness. I want to be at home looking at my baby grow. Right. Definitely. So you be like, those be the honest people. It's the people who children are middle age or they ain't got no kids and they husband or they wife and then they just like, I'm like, why are you going through all this? And then I just realized bad sex.
Yes.
Black love matters.
Black love matters.
Yeah.
What's that for me to say? Suck a dick, save a life.
Oh, yes. My other one is like after you get done with a meeting, based off our meeting, these are the things from the notes.
Yes. Yeah.
If I don't have a response in 72 hours, I would deem everything to be correct. You know, you just added some shit. You a bitch ass nigga.
But I think the biggest thing is almost to get ahead of it too.
Yeah.
So you start hitting them with the emails before they hit you with the emails.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing I like to cuss them out and then put it in white ink.
No, don't listen to Nero.
Yes.
Don't listen to Nero.
I cuss them out and put it in white ink. You bitch ass motherfucker. I can't stand your bitch ass. You ain't shit. You ain't gonna never be shit. Your mama ain't shit. And your kids, them badass kids ain't gonna be shit either.
Them ugly kids. You
Right.
them ugly kids.
Your
you
kids
got
ugly too. And then I copy, select all, and then I put it in white ink.
They babies to work. I'm like, your baby is 3 weeks old.
Yes.
Keep your baby at home.
What they looking at for? Yeah.
So I put that shit in white ink.
Don't listen to
and
them.
then I send it off.
No.
With the answer into the email.
No.
They don't even see it.
It'd be under the date.
Yes.
It'd be in your signature.
It'd be in my signature.
Do not listen to them too.
It'd be in that part that says this is not directed towards you. Please delete.
Right.
And inform the sender.
And none of that, it'd be like, you bitch ass motherfucker. I can't stand your bitch ass and everything else.
It ain't till they copy and paste into another one. They read it.
What is all this? What is all this?
There's something here.
Are these people?
Yeah.
Right.
But like I said, I think the biggest thing is really getting ahead of it, figuring out where it's coming from, kind of taking the lead on that, and kind of getting ahead of them before they start sending emails. So if you know they pattern, you know they trend, you know every Monday she send you the same damn email, get ahead of it.
Yes.
Do a NIRM delayed email and send it to it later. You know, almost send to it later. You know, I'm not big on emailing on weekends because I don't like to set the tone for that. So don't do that. But you know, just those types of things to get ahead.
I would say things that I do is I don't apologize for something I don't think that I've done wrong.
Yeah.
Nope.
So never say I'm sorry for sending this email late, or I'm sorry for getting back to you late, because that puts it in that mentality that email is late.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I just say, you know, in response to your previous email.
Right.
Another thing that I do is just slipped my mind. I think that, you know, like you have to have like I thank people.
Oh.
So if you think you said something to me that you know that was a backhanded compliment, I receive it, I thank you for it, and I move on. But unlike, you know, in your previous podcast when you was talking about that dude at Insecure who he didn't understand they would be passive, right? You know that they're trying to be passive for it. And so you thank them for it. And they kind of get taken aback because they're like, I didn't really mean to thank you for that.
Exactly.
So then they kind of, it makes them think about whether or not they need to put that passive thank you, you know, that backhanded
in there.
Because they don't know how you're going to take it. So those are the two things that I do.
Absolutely.
Well, I cuss them out.
Don't listen to Niram.
Delayed emails.
Niram is a creative that works from home. He don't understand the 9-to-5 warrior life. Don't let him get you in trouble.
Outlook has the function where you can click it. It's on the options. And you can like send email after.
Yeah, delayed is good, but don't be doing that white king stuff. You are not in Harry Potter.
Cuss they ass out in white ink.
No, don't listen to him.
It'll give you the best joy ever.
Bye.
Should lose your job.
Use your damn job. Like I said, Niram is a creative. He works remotely. He don't know nothing about that 9-to-5 warrior life. So don't let him get you in trouble. Me and Nia, we understand the 9-to-5 warrior life. We understand passive aggressive, especially white folks. You know what I was wondering? I don't have this experience. What would it be like to be in an all black environment like this? I feel like it'd be a little different though.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been on Winter Keisha.
Yeah, I was.
It'd be like, hey Keisha.
Cause that's the thing. Like the white people, when you go to the ass, like yes,
They
I'm coming
so
to you.
confused.
Yeah, I'm coming to you to talk to you about this punk ass email you just sent
What
me.
email?
You know what email you just sent me, Barbara?
Did you say Barbara? Linda?
Shit, yeah. You know what email you just sent me? I want to talk to you
amnesia.
now because I'm not going back and forth with this email paper trail shit. I'm going to call you bitch ass nigga and walk away.
Yeah, white people get amnesia, but I think in the brown folks I've worked with, like we're a lot more straightforward and be like, yeah, I sent it. And I meant it. So I think that's just some cure. Maybe our listeners out there who worked in more of a brown environment, like more consistently in the brown, like all top up and down brown. You know, I haven't worked in that type of environment. I probably need to, right?
Yeah.
Let us know what y'all experiences are in that. So this was a great episode. Yeah. Thank you again, Nia, for coming on. This won't be your last time. Like I said, we're going to do the Kwanzaa special.
Oh, my God.
We got to think about what days.
I said 7 days. 7 days.
And we need to do like a challenge with the community. So we need to invite them to do like a 7-day Kwanzaa challenge. Kwanzaa is the best and the worst of times, but you always come up like a
Wait in the whole fool.
I love, and it's gonna be here before you know it. We're already in September,
Right?
Yeah,
my favorite season. So we definitely gonna have Nia. But thank you again. So as always, to submit your Black love stories, go to blacklovematters.com to submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk. Shoot us the email at blacklovematters@gmail.com, and to leave us a comment about anything we discussed today. You can do that on our website, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, any form of social media. You can find us at Black Love Matters. Okay. And don't forget, we have that voicemail at 508-784-1111. Talk to y'all later. Oh, I almost did a Niram. One day Niram was like 1111. I said, wait a minute.
Shit.
It's only 4-1. So again, that's 508-784-1111. Talk to y'all later. And remember, love is ever evolving. Peace.
Peace.
Oh my goodness, we ran our mouth. How long that go?
Hour and 35.
Hour and 35 minutes. We only did one topic. I was going to say, we go all day. Thank you, Nia. That was so good.
All right, y'all. We in the after show.
I love a good after show. I love it. See, I don't know why y'all was talking about Tisha Campbell and whatchamacallit, Tashina Arnold can't sing. They did that song, Don't Ask My Neighbor remake, okay? And that was the bomb. Don't ask my neighbor.
So
Talk to me, huh?
Nia, what you think about the episode?
I enjoyed it. Please send your picture, FICO score, and CV to Black Love. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Don't do anything.
Ladies, he's single. He foreign too. He black and Thai. He speak about 4 different languages, and he a doctor.
That's right. I do a multiple language.
So
they say I'm a cunning linguist.
So if you equally yoke and is in the DMV area,
yeah,
what you saying? Your FICO score,
your FICO score, your CV. You don't even got to send a picture because if your FICO score and your CV right, I am down, right? Because we can make everything else work. If you got a good FICO score, we can upgrade you. Look, matter of fact, if you got a good enough FICO score and CV, I'm looking for you to upgrade me.
Hey,
yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Can I get some upgrade?
So, what has been your favorite part of this episode, man?
I liked it all. I like talking to people, just hearing your ideas, especially about friendships, because I think. Because we're friends that, it's hard to be friends with a couple because you have to get along with the boyfriend and the girlfriend, right? And sometimes that doesn't work. And it's really hard to maintain that friendship. So if you friends with a boy, y'all boys, but his girl don't like you, y'all ain't gonna be boys for long. And if you friends with a girl and her boy don't like you, y'all ain't gonna be friends for long either. And so, that's really hard. I appreciate the one thing about Nyambi is that you can admit when the other person is wrong, right? So Nyambi will be like, Niram, you wrong for that, right? And you need to apologize. And Niram, you're like, Nyambi, you wrong for that. You need to apologize for that. And both of y'all are comfortable saying, I know Nyambi comes to me sometimes like, I love my man, but you need to apologize because you was wrong for that.
Right.
So I think that's the positive thing about, being friends with a couple. I think that's one of the things. So, and it's hard to navigate it. I think people just don't know how to do it. Yeah. Yeah.
What has been your favorite Black Love Matters topic or experience, man? Like, because usually, we always have these conversations like, man, I'm listening to it and I'm having these conversations with y'all.
Yeah.
Has there been a topic that we talked about that you was like, I need to call these fools or I need to be on now?
When Mom and Pops was here, when Mom said that, if you ain't with a responsible man, you ain't with no man, I died. I was like, damn. She cutting them to the white meat. Like, that hit the bone. She was like, you ain't with no man. I said, damn. And this is my thing. If people always talking about how, like, you like, how many dates before you can take somebody out to a nice restaurant and things of that nature. And I always tell people, you not paying for conversation. You paying for pussy or dick. That's what you're paying for. Because I'm your friend and I'm giving you plenty of good conversations and you ain't bought me a meal yet, right? So why are you trying to pretend like you not paying for it?
Right.
So I think that, that conversation about when you can take somebody to Morton's and with bro sis cuz, because we all know bro sis cuz who like to take people to Morton's and take them out to like spend too much money.
Right.
Because my rule is I take you to McDonald's on the first date. and to see your reaction, because I really want to know, like, whether or not you are in it for me or you in it for the money.
Right.
Because I say, let's go out. I want to take you out, you know, to have a conversation with you, and maybe we can get something to eat while we're talking. And when I pull you up in that McDonald's, you got an attitude. I'm like, why do you think you better than McDonald's, right? Like, and so, like, some people are just like, I feel like I'm better than McDonald's and things of that nature. And I have to get into this conversation. Like, when I was younger, McDonald's was a treat.
It was.
You didn't get to go to McDonald's all the time.
You know what? That's the word, because when I first met Naomi, she's like, well, what's your favorite restaurants to go out? And I was like, well, I never went out.
Yeah.
Red Lobster was a come up to me.
Yeah.
Like, shit, we going to Red Lobster? Oh, you must love me.
Yeah.
Because you only get that for your birthday.
Before 18, I only went to Red Lobster 3 times my whole life. That was it. We didn't go to Red Lobster, right? And the one thing I try to have conversations with people is like, my mother isn't from America. And so my parents got divorced early, and my mother struggled to, you know, maintain the household and feed us as a single parent. And so when we were little, every time we used to go by McDonald's, we used to start chanting, Mickey D's, Mickey D's, Mickey D's, Mickey D's. And my mom would stop at McDonald's and she would get us something. But she never bought anything for herself.
Right.
So when, you know, we used to always just think my mom didn't like American food. Yeah, she just didn't like it. But then when we got older, I realized it's not that she didn't like McDonald's. It was that she didn't have enough money to buy her kids something and herself something.
Right.
So she would sacrifice and not eat at McDonald's so we could have it, and then just eat the scraps off of our plate.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I have this obsession with people eating all their food, right? Because I'm like, my mom would sacrifice to do this. So when I take you to McDonald's and you're like, I'm better than McDonald's, I'm like, oh, so you better than my mama? Right? Like, you better than Cool Man? I don't think you better than Cool Man, because Cool Man love me.
Right.
And she'll do anything for me. So, you know, can you imagine if my mother is like, you know, Nia, I want to bring your girlfriend something nice, I can get some food, and she bring McDonald's and your face turned up. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that you really have to have a conversation about. Like, you know, when I heard that conversation, I was like, ooh, I really do want to be that. But I do want to tell Brussels, cuz, please stop taking them to Morton's on the first date. Okay? You putting too much money in.
And not getting enough pussy
and ain't getting enough out. Right? It's called a pocketbook for a reason. You putting too much change up in there. Yeah. You need to get a coin purse. Yeah. You need to be taking them somewhere cheaper than that.
Yeah, and I really agree, man. But I even think about that, like we just talked about, like my mom made I had collard greens almost every week.
Yeah.
Because we grew them. That's what we had, collard greens and some type of pork because it's cheap as hell.
Yeah.
You know, when she got fancy, we had them banquet TV dinners, those, 10 for $1 type joints. We had ramen. But when things got really tough, my mom went to become a lunch lady at a middle school just so she can bring back the extra food home so we can eat.
Yeah. My mom was a lunch lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, I really get that whole thing. Like, you know, so if you can't deal with me at McDonald's,
yeah. What's the...
Yeah, I feel like eventually you're going to get it regardless.
Yeah.
We dating for this long. It's going to be points where we going to go to McDonald's. We going to go to Morton's. We going to go for 2 for $22 at Chili's.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you get it now or you get it later, that shouldn't be the whole thing. But I think it's this whole, what's the word? Like this whole fantasy of this happily ever after. Like, okay, like I get it. Like a man opening door, chivalry and all that stuff. But if he ain't opening a door for you and he ain't taking you to a nice restaurant with the white cloth they got to put under your lap, don't date that nigga. Yeah. Like, what's wrong with a nigga just opening the door for you and having this good conversation and moving on from, and you going to a McDonald's or going to a picnic or whatever. And you don't get that Morton's at the front. Yeah. But you're going to get it eventually.
You're going to get it eventually.
Yeah.
Well, mine is that, you know, we try to train women into thinking, oh, if he doesn't spend this amount of money on you, then he doesn't value you.
Yeah.
And I think with the harmful part of that is that you make women then a commodity.
Yes.
Right? You're a product. Right? You're something that needs to be sold, right? And I don't think women are something that needs to be sold or bought. Amen? So I think that you need to stop thinking of yourself like, oh, you know, what's valuable, what's the most valuable thing is not the fact that, the food is your time.
Yeah.
Because you ain't getting that time back.
Exactly.
Right? So I'd rather have, like you said, a 15-minute conversation with you at Starbucks and be able to leave and have, the rest of my evening to myself because I don't like you, than to go to Morton's and have to wait for all the courses of meals.
Right.
And I always want to tell people, it's better ways to get money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's cheaper and easier ways to get money than you having to go on a day if that's what you really trying to sell yourself, right? Like, if you want to put the product out there. So I thought that was a really interesting conversation. I think that, like, people really need to have, like, think about, why do you attach how much money someone's put on food on your worth?
Yeah.
Because my thing is, my conversation is my worth.
Yeah.
So you lose out when I leave the table anyhow.
Because that nigga is a doctor.
I am. The first black one.
Hey.
From my university.
Yeah.
In my department. Amen.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that was an interesting question, a conversation. Another one was when y'all was talking about insecure and that girl didn't want to swallow.
Oh.
Okay. So I just want to say this. If you got dick in your mouth, penis, fellatio, whatever you want to call it, in your mouth, you already done made a commitment. Just swallow. You done already got fluids back there. Why are you?
Yeah.
Right? Why are you like?
You can residual piss and everything.
Exactly.
If you're sucking it,
exactly.
That nigga done took a piss and you done put it in your mouth. It's still some
some urine in there, right? And coochie ain't that clean either. I know y'all douching and cleansing and all that, but it's some urine down there too, blood and all. And the thing is, that's open too.
Right.
And if you're doing right, she'll squirt too.
Yeah.
All right. So you see what I'm saying? So everybody should be trying to get somebody to squirt.
Exactly. Shit.
So I think that's one of the
paper balls and everything.
Exactly. I think that's one of the things that in the community we really. But I think we have to destigmatize sexuality in general. Yes. Because we have this conversation with young girls where, we don't want them to be hypersexualized. We don't want them to put themselves out there. But then we make their bodies taboo. Yeah. And so then they're afraid to have this conversation with people about what's really going on.
Exactly.
Right? So, I think that's one of the things that we really need to have a conversation about, because otherwise you get these young girls who their parents aren't talking to them about sex, and then they end up getting pregnant, and the man is not taking care of them, or the baby at that point. So that's one of my things. So I always tell people, stop telling your kids when they can't have sex. Start talking to them about when it's appropriate to have sex.
Exactly.
Right? So if you're telling them, oh, you need to wait till you get married, and people ain't waiting till they get married. No. What's another step?
Exactly.
Right? So, okay, let's take that off the table. So I know you're not going to wait. I want you to wait. We had a conversation about you waiting, but you're not going to wait. So what's the next conversation? Mm-hmm. Right? You're ready to have sex when you can take care of a child, or you're ready to have sex. Like I always tell people have the wrong conversations when they're dating. One of the things they want to talk about is like how many sexual partners you had in the past and all this. That don't even matter, because I could be 100% monogamous with you and you could be a dog, right? Like you could be sleeping with half of the men in this neighborhood, right? So, like I said, I ain't got no problem when you've been around the block. But I know some people who got in spaceships and are orbiting Earth, right? Like they just making lots, right? So my question is like, number of partners really isn't important. Like my questions are like, when is the last time you got an STI check? What are your concepts? What's your ideas about abortion, right? Like, how do you feel about if somebody had because it's too late to talk about abortion when somebody's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Too late.
Yeah,
we already had that discussion.
Is there?
But what if you're pregnant and you already told me your ideas about abortion? What if your child has like Down syndrome or something like genetic defect? Because that's too late then.
Yeah.
Right. These are the important conversations to have. Like, not so you don't believe in anal, or you don't believe in
right.
Right. So because those things you can kind of grow. Right. Like I think that so.
But one of my questions: do you think that the super conservative and religion has that causes that issue? Because obviously we're having thinking about the conversation that we was having about the whole oral sex and things of that sort. And I had mentioned that the white girls was giving it up, or they were like, I can't give you the pussy, but you can get this asshole. Yeah. And it was like, well, I want to stay pure and all this other stuff for my husband or things of that sort. But they're just doing it because of religion.
Yeah.
So, like, do you think religion has a stronghold on this, or is the cause why individuals don't have this conversation with their kids because they think, well, it's ungodlike or ungodly to do these things, so that's why I don't talk about it?
Well, I don't know. I guess because I I grew up with my father. And Pops was totally different. I tell people this all the time. I knew Pops was crazy when for sex ed, he gave us a stack of books. And it was like the first book you're supposed to give to the child at like 6 years old, and then it was one book a year until they turned like 13, right? And it showed you like what your body is going through. And by the time it was 13, it had a conversation about sex and things of that nature. Pops just gave us the whole stack of books, like, read that, come back and ask me, you got a question. And we was only 6. It was like 7. It was like, you read it, you're like, oh, this is what happened. You at 8 years old, you're like, vulva. That is not the vagina, those are libias. Right? Like, so I think Pops was a little bit different. And the conversation, I remember when we had the sex conversation, he got up, and this is when I was like, damn, my daddy is real liberal, is when he left, and I was like, Daddy, what if it's 2 men, right? Mm-hmm. Like, what if it's 2 men who are having sex? And he looked at me, and he was like, what'd I tell you? 1 penis, it was like 1 penis, 1 condom, right? I was like, yeah, you said 1 penis, 1 condom. He was like, 2 penises, 2 condoms, dummy. I was like, dummy? And then he got and closed the door like he was talking to somebody crazy. Like, told this boy.
Mic drop.
Yeah. 2 penises, 2 condoms.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
And I can see him talking on the phone. You know what this boy needed and said? I was having a sex talk with him. And I told him 1 penis, 1 condom. And you know what this boy had the nerve to ask me? What if it was 2 men having sex? Like this boy that can't damn add. I done told him. It's 1 condom per penis. 1 penis, 1 condom. 2 penis, 2 condoms, dummy. And if it's 3 penises, 3
condoms.
And that's into infinity.
Infinity.
This boy, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, because that was the thing. Like, my father was very liberal, but, you know, he grew up in a very Christian and conservative household. Mm. So, and we all, you know, read the Bible and things of that nature. My mother is a devout Buddhist, but I think, you know, being from Thailand, her ideas about sexuality is a little bit different. And Thailand has a very open ideas about sex culture. Yeah. So I don't think I had the stereotypical growing up, you know, about what was sex like and things of that nature. So I can only talk about, like, issues that other people have had. Right. But I do think that, you know, the Bible in itself is very sexual. I mean, there are many stories in there that talks about lust and what happens, whether it's good or whether it's bad and things of that nature. And so I think that people are just cherry picking what they want. Yeah. And that was a very interesting podcast y'all had when you were talking about when people are on 2 different religious ideas and how do you meet. And you were like, I think that a lot of people just use the religion to really cover up what morals that they have. Yeah. And it's not that they have different it's not that the religions that are different. Because you can have somebody who is Baha'i married to somebody who's a devout Catholic, and they still get together and they still raise their children and share morality. Right. But the problem is when one person has a different moral belief sets, values and things of that nature. And then they're trying to be with somebody who is on fire for Allah or something of that nature, and then they don't match. Right. Because if I believe in you being honest and telling me the truth, and you believe in lying, and that's cool, it ain't going to work. Right. But, you know, I think that people... So I think that's the effect that religion has on sex conversations, that, you know, people are using it to mask how they really feel. And sometimes it's just uncomfortable talking to kids.
Yeah, it is. It is.
About sex. But you got to. Yeah. Yeah. You buy the condoms for the boy. My mom, Kun Mad, worked at Trojan. She used to send me like 100 condoms a month. I didn't know how much condoms cost until I was like 23, 24 years old. I went to the grocery. I said, damn, condoms? I wonder why my boys love me so much where I used to give them condoms away. They were like, dude, you got these magnums? I'm like, yeah, take them.
Yeah, take them. I get them for
my
free.
Mama was like, one day I sat there with Kuma. I said, man, I don't know how much sex you think I'm having. But I'm not using 100 condoms a month. Like, I go to college, August, 100 condoms. September, 100. By December, I had like 500 condoms. I'm like, I'm using these on a regular basis. I'm not using 100 condoms a month. Right. And so I used to give them out to my boys and my residents. But so, you know, like I said, my growing up around sex and things of that nature was like totally different.
Yeah. I hear that. I get that.
So how was your mom? Do you think she covered sex, using religion to cover sex?
No, I don't think my mom did. Well, I also call my mom in a different lifespan because my mom had my sister when she was 20.
Mm-hmm.
So she was always like, I don't want you to have a kid early as I did. Like I had my first kid at 20, and I want you to beat that because she's like, I had my first kid at 20. I think my sister had her first kid at 20. It's like I just want you to break the cycle.
Yeah,
like don't have no kid at 20. So when I had that pregnancy square and it was at 20, and she's like,
"Jeez, didn't I tell you?"
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. Like she didn't cuss me out and nothing like that. She's like she just broke down and cried like. I told you I didn't want you to have a kid this early. Don't you see from me and your sister? I just wanted you to break the cycle. And I was like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just so disappointed. And then she just bust out, started crying, like bawling. And I'm like, oh man, I done fucked up.
But has your mom gotten to the point where she don't even care how you have kids yet?
Yes.
Yeah. See, that's something when you hit 30.
Yes.
When you hit 30, I remember when we were younger, they was like, don't have no kids out of marriage.
Yeah.
Wait till you get married. And then you hit 30 and all of a sudden my mama started talking to my sister talking about, it's okay, you have a lover. Right? You just need to meet somebody and, you have a good house and a good car. Good job. You don't need no man live with you.
Yeah.
Right? And so the other day is like, my father swears that I'm doing something on the seat because he keep getting these pamphlets about breast formula. I think I just went to a conference and signed my name or something like that. So they keep saying. So he's like, "Boy, you getting a son? Like, are you trying to hint at daddy?" Then he pulled that whole. I'm gonna tell you something. It's okay. If you have a baby, you don't have to marry the mom. Hell, nowadays, you don't even have to. The mama don't even got to exist. If people having babies, have you thought about that? You got a lot of friends, and didn't one of them want to do it. I'm just like, Daddy, I'm not at the age where I need to start talking about surrogacy with my 70-year-old father, right?
Exactly.
Like he's like, what about your sister? Would they care? You got sisters, would they care for you? I'm like, no. My sister told me she too selfish. She would think the baby hers. So I got a friend though. I got a couple of friends. So I'm like, look, I'm getting in them years, and you done popped out some before. I know your track record. You a healthy mom, and,
right?
Yeah. So.
I think the same thing. Like my mother. Well, it's different because like. We got a great grandchild. Like my mama got a great grandchild, so she's not necessarily looking at me. But even though the great grandchild's like 5, so she's like, "All right, Nira and Nyambi, what's going on? This gonna happen." Even like Nyambi's mama's like, it's okay if y'all, I know y'all bought the house and that's like posting on y'all from getting married, but it's okay if y'all decide to have kids. Like nobody's gonna judge y'all.
Nobody's gonna judge y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, like because of the lifestyle that we have, like. We don't want no kids right now.
But I think that's the hard part. Like, I knew something was up when my great uncle came to me, and he was like, "You and your cousin, y'all the last ones with the name." He ain't doing nothing. He been married for about 4 years. I think he's shooting blanks. I was like, damn, Unc, you ain't got to tell it like that, right? He's shooting blanks. You the last hope for us, boy. I'm like, okay, thank you for letting me know. I might need to go to the fertility specialist. And that's one of the things that I think, on a podcast would be really interesting to y'all talk about is like with fertility problems is like sometimes it's hard for men to admit it may be me. Mm-hmm. Right? Like it may be me who's having a problem and it's a lot cheaper for me to go get things figured out. And so, that's one of my things. I'm thinking now, like, maybe I need to just, before I even be worried about like, can I have kids, 20 kids, or, I need to get married, something like that. Let me go ahead and check out and see if I can even have kids.
Right.
Yeah, because if I can't, I might just go ahead and keep living single, right? Ain't no need to.
Ain't even no need to find a
exactly.
But just in case, ladies.
Just in case.
Send your FICO score. Your CV.
If the land is desert, ain't no need planting no seeds, right? So I think that's one of the. Those are a couple of the interesting podcasts that y'all have really talked about. I really thought that we were in depth and what was going on. Cool. I think I give y'all props for like addressing like your belief sets on like Bill Cosby and what's going on with R. Kelly. Because I think that again talking about Black love, sexual taboos are really strong in our community, and people don't want to take sides on that and have a conversation about that. I have my own opinions, but I think that's is bold, and I give you props for like bringing it up and like causing people to want to have that conversation about it. So I think those are good ones. Have you had a favorite?
No, actually, we produce so many so fast because it's 3 days a week that I listen to them, but I haven't had a chance to be like, oh yeah, that's my favorite podcast.
Yeah,
because that's one of the things I'm gonna have to do, because I know it's gonna be a time where we're gonna have to go on vacation or we can't be able to produce, and I'm gonna have to create like a best of, and I'll be able to go back to listen. So I haven't found a favorite myself. Naomi, do you have one?
I'm coming back now.
I'm
coming back.
Here?
I was sitting like y'all had boy chat, gentleman chat. What are we gonna call it? Because remember we gonna do an episode when it's gentleman chat.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get my Jesus, I guess, because I don't got no friends.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, but I don't know what my favorite episode is. I think it's when we have folks on. So like this one with Nia, with my parents, Rod and Karen. I think it's whenever we can engage. Because sometimes when we be talking, I'm like, did anybody be listening except Nia and my mama? Like, so I think I like that engagement and like talking with other folks, and because I don't know if y'all know, we at the table talking.
Yeah,
like we didn't have pre stuff set up. Like it's just having that conversation and really challenging your thinking. So I think those are the episodes that I really, really enjoy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I really, and that's where I go back to. Like I haven't had the time to go back to be like, oh yeah, like that was my favorite segment. I know there's like after me and Nyambi like record the podcast, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good episode. Yeah, like just on the way.
Because we're even self-processing on stuff. Because a lot of times y'all, when we be like, what you talking about? We just coming off top of the dome and be like, we're gonna talk about this. We're like, wait a damn minute. Yeah. So I think even in the growth in our relationship and just digging deeper into kind of our stories and our thought processes, I think the podcast really helps do that. As a couple, I think we do it, but sometimes when you with your partner, you be like, well, just go sit down. I'm going upstairs, you're going downstairs, see you in the morning. But I think the podcast truly forces us to say, well, no, what's your opinion on this? Why? Flesh that out and ask those why questions without being, as a couple, when it's like, oh, there she goes, she nagging, why? It's more of it's a fair playing ground. Right. Like it's fair, it evens the playing ground for some of these hot topics or controversial topics that we can have as a couple. And it's nothing, better than a couple that's unified on the points. Not necessarily say you have to have the same viewpoint. But both of you all have this common understanding of how the other person feel. I think that's something very secure because there's nothing more uncomfortable than when you go out with couples. And it's not that they disagree, it's how they disagree. Yeah. And you'd be like, Jesus. Like, this is uncomfortable.
Now it makes company.
Yeah, you'd be like.
Do that in front of people.
Yeah, and it doesn't, you don't have to agree on everything, but it's a way you can disagree. And not even just with like romantic partners, even with good friends. There's only so many things. Even though I'm out with Nia, he might, like you said, he might say something crazy, but I ain't gonna be like, what the fuck, Nia? What is the hell? Like, it's a certain way. It's like just almost this mutual respect that you have for, friends and partners that I think the podcast is kind of helping me hone in and be more self-aware of. So.
And black love mean knowing the code, right? You got to know the code. You got to know when someone's saying, look, I love you. You out of pocket right now. I need you to calm down, be quiet so you don't ostracize us from our friends.
Come on.
Exactly.
Like, because they don't understand your point of view naturally, right? They don't know your history or why you may be saying something a certain way. Because people may be very sensitive about something and they're just saying how they feel. And the reason why they're saying it like that is because they feel like they are with friends.
Right.
But the problem that occurs is that they don't know the history of that person with that, what their partner does. And their partner is like, do I out them on their history or do I shut them down because I know without people understanding their history, they don't know why they feel that way.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like if I'm like, we going to McDonald's, right? And somebody be like, you can't be believing that. I'm like, bitch, yes. That's what the fuck I believe. You can get anything on that dollar menu.
And I be tell my friends, like sometimes you got to give dudes or sisters to like a chance. Like you have to really. I always tell my friends, like when they're dating, like everybody has a story, and for the most part, everybody have a reason why they do things. But you have to take that time to really seek to understand that. And if you really want to be in a relationship, that's what it's about. Like the ones that I see strong, again, be it romantic or platonic. Like you really have to seek to understand what that person's story, and not just seek to understand it, but truly want to understand them and listen. It's a difference between, just, okay, oh, I heard you. It's different between hearing and listening and truly listening to what their story is because they have something rich to bring to you. But everybody's not ready to do that.
Yeah, and I also think that goes back to like knowing your partners and knowing your friends and trying to integrate those because we've had situations where we try to integrate friends and friends of friends
and I'm popping off
and people pop off, whether it's Nia, whether it's me, whether it's them, and it's just because it's like, Oh, that person don't know. That person don't. Oh, that person don't know Nia. He's been touched by white hands, and that hood talk you talking ain't gonna it ain't gonna fly.
And I wouldn't even say it's hood talk. It's just nonsense.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times I think that happens not necessarily with friends, but I think that happens where you have friends and they partner. So it's like a degree of separation.
Yeah.
So I think when you're doing friend to friend, that's good. But when you have your friend and they done bring their partner, bruh, sis, cuz, whoever it is, and then they integrate that person and they don't know the group norms, that's when it hits
That'd
the
be
fan. And if their relationship is not strong, so my close friend and they bruh, sis, cuz, boo, their relationship ain't where it need to be, that's when it start breaking, crumbling. I know that sounds weird, but it's that degree of separation. And that person who comes in, that one can really throw the dynamic off of folks too. And it shows kind of the weaknesses.
The chinks in their armor.
Yeah, you see it. And it's like, well, and then you look at the friend like, this not how we roll. Because you communicated with the friends by eyes.
Yeah.
And all they doing is hunting up in their shoulder. It's like, oh, bitch, well, you need to control your...
You need to get your
control your nigga, your bitch.
Man. Yeah,
you need to control all of them.
Yeah, all
and then when they're not able to do that, and we say control loosely. We don't mean go choke them up in the back.
Right.
But it's a mutual respect you should have. And when that's not there, that's what really comes out. That's what I notice when I'm integrating different groups of folks. It's never friends. It's usually never the friend. Even if folks don't feel each other, how they feel each other, folks can go on through the night, had a little glass of wine and kiki, but it hits the fan when you bring kind of an outsider into that.
And they don't know.
That don't understand how you as the host or the person who brought it together, here go Pop, I can't operate.
Or they don't. I think within our group, the hard part is that everybody's an expert in something.
Literally.
Assigned by some boards of governors and things of that nature, they're expert in something. So you may have somebody coming in new to the group, and because we all like just laugh and kiki, and people are country, people are hood, people, and we all eating ribs and smacking on, we lighten up. Then you have somebody who don't understand that. It's experts up in here.
Yeah, we're not just talking shit.
Yeah, and so they'll try to talk, and you be like, wait.
Right.
You saying something that's incorrect, and this person here is an expert.
Right.
Yes.
This nigga got a degree in this.
You put respect on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. On their name.
Publish articles in
on that. Yeah. It's like,
Nero,
I don't just believe it. So you're like, wait a minute. I am published on Twitter. Right? Like not just you don't see my words on Twitter. I've actually got publications about Twitter. Yeah. So I think that can be one of the problems, like integrating friends into a relationship on both sides. So I think that's the fun part and that's the hard part.
Yes. Yeah.
I also think that one of the things that I think that I love about the podcast is the fact that you guys have access to different types of love, right? So, it's Black Love Matter, but there's so many versions of Black love. There's so many things. I'm waiting for the biracial, the multiracial, Black, white couple, Black male, white female, white female, Black male, Black female, two white men, a white man and a Black man, whatever you have. I'm waiting to see those kind of things. I'm waiting to see like you said, even within the diaspora, the Miami Alpha, that you have people who are just, we're from the Caribbean or we're African, and we live in the United States, and I may be African and I've dated, African Americans, and this is what I've experienced, and this is how they're different in treating men and women and expectations, and I think that would be really interesting. And like I said, like even myself, because I'm biracial, with multiracial, just what my experiences are, right? Like I've seen Black love between like a Black male from the South and an Asian woman from Thailand, right? In the 60s. Yeah. And then, Kunmed remarried and her husband is Puerto Rican. Yeah. So I done seen a Latino dude and an Asian woman. Yeah. Like, what does that look like? So you have all of those different types of love and expressions of love influencing when I give love. And then how does that love then receive if somebody else is Black?
Absolutely.
Right. Yep. And so you may think things are different. Like, I may have, or like, I know dudes who grew up with their moms, and I've noticed this. Dudes who grew up with their mom, the way they show love is through food.
Yes.
Like they were constantly, I've never seen a dude who was like just, in a house with their mom, and their mom was a bomb cook. Now their mom was a bad cook.
Yeah.
They ain't showing no love through food. But if their mom was a bomb cook, they showing love through food, either through cooking it or eating it.
Yes. Yep.
And if you a sister or a brother and you're in a relationship with that dude and you don't either eat all your food or you don't know how to cook food,
they done.
That's Black Love Matters, right? Black cooking matters. Cause they like, how I'm supposed to get my
Nobody loved me. Nobody loved me.
Girl, the macaroni and cheese wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this cheese is.
Naomi learned how to cook to be with me.
Oh Lord, I like cooking. Don't start.
Well, when I met you, you didn't cook.
I surely did,
and I did most of the cooking.
You did, and then I transitioned.
But both of y'all are really good cooks.
Yes, so that's what made us look. But yeah, I remember even when I met your mom, and she asked me, she's like, "Do you know how to cook?" Because Niram like to eat. I said, I said, not really. That's his job. His mom was like, "Oh well." Ooh, I don't know about my son. I was like, I said, this Nyambi. Look, here's Nyambi. Look, 12 years later, collard greens, ham hot.
Right.
Look, I'm like the girl from, what is it, Soul Food, Lure of the Divine. I just made a little snack, pork chops, fried chicken, whiting, sweet potato pie, collard greens, cabbage, dressing, just for Wednesday.
Etouffee. Yeah. Oh, man.
This is great.
Yeah, so we got anything else? I think we can put a nice bow on the after show.
Yeah, this was wonderful. It's wonderful. This ain't gonna be Nia's last time. No. Actually, we're gonna try to convince Nia to do some type of podcast too, because I think his voice needs to be heard.
I think so.
Yeah, we trying to convince him.
No,
we trying to convince him.
Shade.
No singing voice.
Shade.
No, we trying to.
I said singing voice. You talking about something else?
No singing voice. Sorry, brother, you can't sing.
No, we really tried to get
but your voice do need to be heard.
We trying to get him to do some type of podcast or blog or something because his perspective is amazing. But again, thank you.
Yeah, and ladies, he's single. He a doctor.
Somebody gonna send this.
He foreign.
Yeah.
He like a foreign. He black and Thai.
He said he foreign.
He well traveled.
Yeah.
He got a lot. He speak a lot of different languages.
Yes.
And he got a high FICO score.
Sign off. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
So send your FICO score,
I'm not.
your resume or CV, a picture.
I told you ain't got me no picture.
Oh, no picture.
We can make it work.
Okay. And the little bio.
Yeah.
To blacklovematters@gmail.com.
You can't catfish with FICO and CV. I got to get your job. I got to see you at your job.
That's your identity.
Your FICO.
Y'all have a good Monday.
All right, y'all take care. Bye.